A gorgeous Sunday here in Southern California as we welcome you to Pacific Palisades, California, Riviera Country Club, the final round where Sam Burns is trying to notch his first win on the PGA Tour.
Oh, it may look the same as yesterday, but it is so vastly different. The winds have disappeared. The skies remain blue. And the final round of the Genesis Invitational is underway. The CBS crew in position and ready to take you home to crown a champion here at Riviera. Homa at 9 under, 2 off the Sam Burns lead.
Well, we did have a little bit of a change, Jim, because at 12:30 the wind direction did do a full 180. It went from like yesterday, basically down the golf course, and now it's turned around back the other way. So back 9 will be tough again.
Back to 6.
He's missed everything, Frank.
He has, which is unusual. That's really the hallmark of his game. But it started on the first hole, so the birdie chance goes begging. But remember yesterday, there was a great up and down, almost impossible from the back right. Obviously, the hole was cut in a totally different position. Today, bunkered front left. And exploded it out to just inside 6 feet. So remember, Dustin Johnson did make 2. So could perhaps be a 2-shot swing. No, he's up for the task. What a great start, really. 2 birdies inside those first 3 holes. And he has led from day 1.
Yeah, all the lag putts have been absolutely down to a foot. He made a great putt on the 3rd. He was in first, and Dustin then followed him in. So that was a nice little moment. The only mistake Dustin made was making that weird 5 at the first when he was just off the right-hand side of the green.
Back at 7. Matt Jones at 6 under par, 1 under the beginning stages of this round, coming off a 69 round that matched the lowest of round 3, which was completed this morning. Sam Burns came out this morning and completed his 3rd round, having to play 14 and in. He bogeyed the 14th hole, then parred in. So he was at 9 under through 54, and that was good enough for a 2-shot lead. But it had gone from 5 to 2 from the end of round 2 to the end of round 3. Here's Dustin on the tee at 7.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, that means it's left. You see it's slightly downwind now. Iron is enough, and no, he's not going to get it. But okay, in the middle flat section. Prefer not to be there. Magnificent. There's that beautiful bunker just going down the corner of the screen. This is what they're looking at.
This is where Sam's troubles started a little bit yesterday. Made bogey here.
Yeah, a little bit more. Oh, I take that kick. That stopped it from leaping into the bunker.
Well, it actually is on a bit of an upslope.
On the green, Max Homa to get within 1. Oh, wow. Wow. It's been a long time since Burns has had anyone that close. He had the 5-shot lead after Friday night and held the lead most of the day on Saturday, 4 to 5 most of the time. Now it's down to 1. Here he is 2 under for the round, and he's seen his lead cut down to just a single stroke. Back on the tee at 7.
Max Homa is actually creating chances on, I think, every hole, Jim.
Just kind of needs to play within himself. He's not going to overpower a golf course.
Yeah, he gets frustrated with all those misses, Dottie. Does young Matthew.
That's not a miss, though.
That's fine.
Let's go to 8.
Yes, and Cam Smith in desperate need of a haircut.
He sure is, but he's got a great round going today. 3 under through his first 7. Just 110 to the hole.
Bogeyed this hole Thursday, birdied it Friday.
Got to pay attention to this hole location here, Ian. Anything just left of it's good.
Wonderful rhythm to that swing. He's hit 6 of 7 greens in regulation today, Trevor, hitting the ball nicely compared to the first 3 days. And a good safe shot there. Double fairway here at the 8th, as you see, with the ravine and the penalty area that goes between the two. Some take driver up the left, like Tony Finau, and others 3 wood or so down the right.
And he's crushed it down the left side here, only 101.
Spin. Oh, yes, it did. If that goes a little long, not good.
Yeah, it's gone 12 feet below the green if you miss it on the right.
Tony made birdie here on Friday as well. There's a great look at that green at 8.
So Burns' lead is 1 over Homa, by 2 over Dustin Johnson, and by 3 over Tony Finau and Cameron Smith. No one's at 7 under, but you got Rahm and Fitzpatrick and Jones at 6. Final round is coming up next on CBS.
And check on Brian Gay with his second shot coming into the par 4. This group beginning on the back 9. Gay with a win during our wraparound schedule, so he's among the top 30 in the FedEx Cup, even though he's playing to an over par score right now. From 168 to this back flag, he's looking at 27 feet for his putt coming up. James Hahn now at 10. Second shot on the par 4. His tee shot was to the right of this green, so just wedges it on, and that gives him a chance to see if he can pick up a birdie. Pretty solid work there. Keegan Bradley, second at 18. And Bradley, the approach from 156, pretty well done. He's below the hole.
We've got a 1-shot margin right now for Sam Burns, who's been leading since Thursday. He had a 5-shot lead at the midway point, a tournament record. And by the end of round 3, which concluded this morning, the lead had dropped to 2. Here he is standing in the 7th fairway, 2 under for his final round, but he's seen his lead drop to just 1. Fitzpatrick's in this final grouping with him, as is Dustin Johnson.
Matthew with 165, the same exact number that Sam will have for his second.
Unfortunately, Matthew's having a rough start today. Everything's gone wrong. Just about missed every single putt. And hitting it on the wrong side of the green at 7.
Dustin went iron off the tee and pulled it into that bunker on the left-hand side.
He has found the bottom of that bunker, so the lie is not an issue. Interesting that the wind had forecast to turn around at about 1 o'clock local time. It switched earlier. It's been in this direction now for almost 2 hours. 9-iron. That would mean it would be helping me here.
Yes, Dottie, the wind did it. Oh, I'll take that one. Thank you very much.
Oh, my goodness. Inches away. Burns is going to go back to 12 under par, where he resided on Friday night with that sensational shot. They'll put him 3 under for the final round.
He has got great commitment on that follow through. We're enjoying this man's physical strength and golf swing.
How about his mental strength? He's holding the lead every day, too.
Well, big dig today, Jim. You know, to do it properly, they were out on the range at 6. That means you've got to be up at 4 o'clock. That means the night before, you know, did you go to bed at 9?
Well, I think good for Sam, though, because he had the first tee time on Friday. He was used to that early start. That may need to go a little bit for Dustin.
Just claws its way. But how about that for a shot from Burns? That's a nice response to everybody else. Couldn't really done anything better than this opening start.
We'll be, I'm sure, replaying that one a number of times today. Hard to do much better than that. 24-year-old Sam Burns looking for his first tour victory. Leads by 1 in the final round of the Genesis Invitational.
At the 18th, Matthew Wolff. He's just in front of the left edge of this green. And he'll play to this back flag. About 48 feet. And able to get it to stop just short of the cup. A couple of feet left for par. Wolf having a struggle though on the back nine. We get to 10. Victor Hovland, full treatment here. 315 yards, the par 4, with the pin cut to the front, and as he aggressively attacked off the tee, that one left all the way. So depending on that sight line, he'll be able to chip from there. Might be able to get it up in the air. Brian Gay now at 18 for birdie. Gay to see if he can connect from 31 feet, short on speed. So he had the birdie at 17. That was the second of the par 5s on the back nine. He's going to play for par here. And they still have the front side to complete. Now, Patrick Rogers at 10. And we'll see if this one can line up with this pin. That launch angle, you can just see how high he played it and then let it land as softly as he possibly could, but it still took the big hop.
This day that sets us up for this final round of competition. Little tap in. That's all it took for Burns to get to 12 under par.
He was just remarking on the way up here, Jim, how different the day is, not just now, but even to this morning. Yeah.
Let's go to the 8th.
Cam Smith for birdie. We saw his approach in here with the wedge.
Anybody at home working on their putting stroke, that's a good one to copy right there. Great tempo, tension free.
Has to be so careful there. Quite a lot of slope to this green as well. One of the hallmarks of this golf course. Back at 7.
And Fitzpatrick's playing his 3rd.
Yeah, no shot from over there. Might use a tiny bit of backstop.
Cam Smith made his par, tapped in. 8 under par through the 8th hole, 4 back.
To finish that comment about Sam Burns, he said this morning he had 2 jackets and a beanie when they resumed play.
Well, Dottie, here is DJ crash studying what to do with this putt through the shadows and just hanging on to the front edge of the green.
Now, he wasn't particularly happy with the wedge he hit there, but thinking he was pretty close to that margin of falling completely off the green. Not too much to be upset with. The comment before my mic cut out was that Sam Burns was commenting about how different it is right now to when they started early this morning. He had 2 jackets and a beanie on.
Yeah, it's tough to come out and warm up in the dark. They put lights on the range for them, and they went as early as they could. But he's off.
He's gone. He's going to the next tee.
I'll see you boys over on the 8th.
Wow, that's maybe he's going to the loo.
Let's go to the 8th.
And Tony Finau, a beautiful approach in here.
Yeah, if he's going to win today, he's going to have to get this club to cooperate just a little out of his right.
Oh, beautifully done for Tony Finau. That's 4 birdies in his opening 8 holes. 9 under par, 3 back.
Well, Ian, I was saying earlier that 9 front right's tough, but it's playing short. Then we got the 10th right on the front of the green, putting the flag. It's a birdie there and a good drive up 11. So if you're going to make a real serious move, this is it right now, middle of the round.
It's interesting, Dottie, I remember last summer talking about this with you, that when it's his turn on full shots, he's almost as quick as they come. And once he gets over the ball on the putting surface, he'll be quick. But the studying that now goes in to trying to read a putt, it's become his way of fashion for over a year now.
That's right. And we noticed it really seemed to intensify when he won in Hartford. But they don't leave any stone unturned in preparation to hit a putt. But like you said and just saw, when he gets over it, he's going.
Well, that's why you've got to do it right here. You've actually got to be pretty close to 100% right. And he goes to the side of the greens. This is what Craig Farnsworth taught him, to go to the side and then walk your eyes down the line to gauge the speed of the putt. You can almost in a time fashion as well. You know, they even time the putts now, so you learn to walk your eyes down the putt at the speed you think the golf ball is going to travel.
Let's go to the 8th.
It's interesting you say that, Nick. I used to do that anyway without, anyone telling me scientifically. Homa has really started out well. He's in great form. He finished 5th here last year as well.
Just to go to your point, there was an awful lot of things we did 20, 30, 40 years ago, which now they prove with the science. We were still guessing about that.
Correct. As we watch the last couple of holes, this is Max Homa at the donut hole. Frank's hole at 6. And hits a spectacular shot there that would have looked like going in from the tee. And now it's 7. This for another birdie. So Max Homa started with birdie at the first, and then his last 2 holes, birdie. He's 3 under today. Now back to 7.
And Fitzpatrick 1 over to this point and trying to make par.
Yeah. He did birdie the 3rd. Thought he was the last to go, the 3 for 3, but apart from that, every single other putt has missed.
Tony Finau on the tee at 9, coming off that birdie.
This will go miles, and now they're downwind for the first time this weekend. 280 that bunker. It'll still be going up when it goes past that one.
Yeah, Nick, like one of our drones, this taking photos as it sails over that bunker.
There she goes. Look at that. Oh, that's up a decent hill, folks.
And here's the course description presented by TaylorMade. Well, yesterday we went deep into telling you George Thomas's history in California. So much respect for what he's done, particularly just a few miles apart between here, LA Country Club, and Bel Air. His genius work. The site of the 1948 U.S. Open. Ben Hogan. And Los Angeles will have its first U.S. Open in a 75-year span when Thomas's LA Country Club will host in 23.
In the left trees yesterday, Ian.
He was left of the left trees,
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
Right.
Way
You're
left,
right.
wasn't he?
There's actually a lot more going on down that left side. You've got bunker left, and you've got the 2 wiggly, windy bunkers down in the ravine.
Good solid base, isn't it, to his swing? Strong swing.
And good spring in his legs.
Oh, well, what did he do? He aimed left and carved it right.
It's in perfect shape now.
When you got it going.
Yeah, how about that one? I'll just give it a rip, and I'll tell you where it's gone after I've hit it. Well, that'll release a little bit of pressure in you, which is.
Well, he did wait on the 8th tee for quite a while.
One of the challenges the setup of this golf course gives you on this hole in particular is how do you aim the tee markers if you got 2 fairways?
Dustin looking anxiously.
Yeah, he's lost it down there.
It is pretty dry down there. Your chances of getting a playable shot are pretty good.
Well, it's Sam Burns continues to lead here at the Genesis Invitational. He's 2 in front of Max Homa. And Dustin Johnson, the 2017 champ, lurking 3 back.
Patrick Rogers, after his tee shot sailed wide left behind the tree line, having to, ooh, that was a great play, having to play that shot right to the pin. And so he almost got it to hug the flagstick and drop right down into the cup. Terrific shot there. We'll get to 18th. Adam Scott, our defending champion. Unfortunate 2-over score, though. He was coming back looking forward to his title defense, but that one coming up a little short, so he'll tap in for par. So Scott on the back 9 has a total of 4 birdies, but still over par for the week. Just in front, Victor Hovland. And Hovland, well, that one, a little bit of wind affecting that. He's going to quickly run up there and mark it. So there are pockets of this golf course where the wind is coming through and affecting play a little bit. And so Hovland, who also tugged his tee shot well left, he was scrambling and hoping he could get that one to drop, but he's looking at par now. Harold Varner III for birdie. This at 18. And a little short on the speed. And he knew it quickly. So it'll be a tap-in par.
We're in the fairway at the 9th after that massive downwind tee shot. Here's Finau.
And with a sand wedge, should be able to throw this just past the hole, use that ridge to draw it back.
Gotta get it close, Trevor. This is huge, fantastic opportunity. Yeah. Top
Nick,
side, very difficult.
Nick, yesterday they were hitting 2 irons in here. Today,
Yeah.
sand wedge.
They sure were.
Let's go to the 8th.
Great second shot in here for Max Homa. Finished 7th last week up at Pebble Beach. Been coming here since he was 2 years old. As Max came here with his dad. Came here many, many times to watch the event, watch the tournament, but never played here until the 2012 NCAA Championships, where he was playing with his team at Cal Berkeley. 2 back.
Pick up Max on the tee at the 9th. And he came to this LA area when he was at Cal in 2013, Pac-12 championships. And LA Country Club shot 61. Went on the win. Individual honors. That would usually help you get there. That's a little 61. Just raced 31 miles from here in Valencia, and that's a wonderful start to play the 9th. Back one to the 8th.
So much depends on the lie here, Dottie.
The ball's sitting fine. He does have to get it up pretty quickly. The lip is significant. Just over 100 yards, and this is way high.
Okay. On the correct level, but another long one like back at 7. Interesting tee shot there for Sam Burns.
That was the classic picture from yesterday. Halfway down, he said, "Don't go in the trees left." Just carved it. I like this angle. I would have gone down the right because look, you're going straight up the green.
Little truth serum. I wonder what he would say about that tee shot.
First in strokes gained approach this week. Almost 8 shots better than the field. It's always been one of the things holding him back. He's always been a good driver and good putter, but never better than 138th in that category for a season. This year up in the top 60, so it's improved something. And as Dustin makes his way up to the green, the FedEx Cup summary: most seasons qualifying for the Tour Championship since '07. Dustin Johnson 12 times. Justin Rose 10, Matt 9, Phil 9. And Patrick Cantlay leads the way. He's having another good week as well. Up in the top 15 on the board here. Dustin Johnson just 161 points behind. So more than likely a top 3 finish for him today would put him up there at number 1 again. He's used to being number 1. Certainly the best in the world right now, Nick.
Yeah, most definitely. He's won 50% of his last 8 tournaments. So, you know, you get in that groove, it becomes kind of like a habit, doesn't it?
I don't know. Only you. You were 90 weeks or something, weren't you, as number 1, nearly a couple of years?
Yeah, I did a couple of 96 weeks. I did in a row. 97 total, I think.
At 9.
And Cam Smith, who was in that mix with Dustin at Augusta just several months ago, 3 months ago.
He's one of those players, Jim, that loves to compete under the fiercest pressure. Saw that from him at the President's Cup. Absolutely thrived on it down there. This is not a putt you compete too aggressive with, though. Just got to throw it out there to the left and let it feed down there.
Try and find a gully where it's just rolling straight for the last 3 feet. So that might mean 3 or 4 feet left. Tell you what, look at the color of the greens as well. They've gone shiny.
Yes, they have. And hearing Trevor talk about what he's done in the clutch, Cameron Smith in the President's Cup. Trevor will be the next captain. He is the captain for the international team for the President's Cup, which will be next year at Quail Hollow Club in Charlotte. Trevor Immelman and Davis Love, matching captains. That will be something else. I know you're already engaged in that very heavily these days, Trevor. First, I'll tell you.
Absolutely. It's an absolute honor. Looking forward to it. All the players are really looking forward to the week. And Quail Hollow, what a great venue that's going to be, much like Royal Melbourne.
Yeah. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Discover the possibilities. Goodyear. And here next up is a guy that you no doubt will be competing against. He'll be on the other side.
And he made a putt of very similar line and length on the previous.
Just pops it down that slope. It's going to turn in time.
Oh, you're kidding. How can you leave it short? It's actually a little longer than it looked from that camera angle. It's actually 11-footer.
But 31 out. Sensational for Tony. 3 back. Again, Goodyear putting the possibilities in good swing. More driven. We're back to 8, and Dustin's already circled the putt and the line a couple of times. Dottie, what does he have?
Well, he's getting closer to his 10,000-foot first step day. Just right here.
Yeah, that's just the last 2 greens.
It's a little bit downhill, but I think it's important to mention that these greens were not rolled this morning. They were not cut. We're trying to maintain kind of the conditions that the players had when they finished yesterday. And just in case the winds get up, we got a little safety valve.
Well, Dustin had only made 30 feet of putts the first 7 holes, so now it'll be 31 feet for 8 holes. Tap in par. 2 good pars those last 2 holes and those putts.
Hard to complain about that sort of stretch. And remember, you know, both of them were bunkers off the fairway, or off the green, or off the fairways. He did not make it easy on himself.
Came in here strong favorite. Dottie has a great record here.
He's had just a great 6 months. Yeah, Sam Burns goes about his business pretty quietly, but remember in 2008 when we covered the Honda Classic and we had Sam and Tiger together on Sunday, and Sam said to Tiger on the first tee, "Look at all these people that came out to watch me," and went out and beat him.
He did. He beat him like 70 to 72.
He did.
Yeah.
Sam snuck a top 10 out.
Yeah, seems like a nice young kid. Very good friends and teammate, of course, to David Tom's son Carter down at LSU. Falls at the end. Look at that coming in sideways. Not a bad read.
Not bad speed either. It makes it easy on nerves that have not won a golf tournament on the PGA Tour yet.
Could today be the day? Enjoying a list of notables. Actually, 2 of the best players ever, or the 2 best players ever, haven't won here. Nicklaus and Woods. At 9 now.
Homa. Second alone at 10 under par.
Shot. Very nice.
Hole high. Working on a 3 under side. Sam Burns seized the lead with 64 on Thursday and has not let go of the lead.
The 2-shot lead for Sam Burns. Is it going to be enough when he turns onto the back 9 of the golf course? He's right now working the 9th hole, which has typically been, throughout the course of the week, one of the more challenging holes. Now, it's easier in this final round with just a lighter offering in terms of pin location. We've seen a half dozen birdies made there and only 2 bogeys today. So we'll see how he handles that and then heads on to the back 9.
And what a time to play this hole right now in the middle of your round. Tony Finau, and they're all going for it today.
Tees move forward 10 yards. Hole location in the front portion as well. This 3-wood hanging on to the left edge of the green.
Still a firm balance. Actually, when these guys teed off today,
Yeah.
10 was playing down breeze. It was just an iron.
Yeah, Harold Varner, the third, hit it right on the front edge with an iron.
And you can see they're going for the green. Actually, it's playing a little harder, believe it or not. But I think as that breeze has changed, it might just flip around. But going for the green percentage, I mean, you see that 58% there, that 10th hole. It makes such a big difference if you can get those short approach shots, because these greens are so firm and so fast. And some of these hole locations are very, very hard to get close to. 9.
Well, hopefully he's picked the right fairway. The one in front of him.
Oh, I think that's a yes. That's a lot of speed and a lot of height.
Yeah, he's enjoying the adrenaline he's feeling right now, Dottie.
He seems like he's super comfy.
Back to 10.
Cameron Smith.
That wind just in and a little out of the right, like you mentioned. He plays a draw.
So he's gone against his natural shot.
Will it pay off?
Oh, just pitched and stopped, but still very accessible. Yet to be an eagle here today at 10, but only 2 bogeys. Easiest the hole has played all week. To 9.
Well, he's driven into bunkers the last 2 holes. His driving's been just a fraction off this week.
That tempo looks a little quick to me right now, and that's left.
That's that dry rough we've been talking about, how it does react differently when it comes out of that one.
Back up on the green with Max Homa, Taylor Gooch, Matt Jones. Gooch at 4 under, Jones at 6, Homa at 10 under. What a difference a day makes. I mean, the winds yesterday so fierce. First shutdown and suspension of play just because of winds since the 2015 Open Championship at St. Andrews. Before that, 2014 in the 3rd round of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. But thankfully, mercifully, we were able to get players back out on the golf course yesterday right at about 2 o'clock. They had about 4 hours of playing time. Finished the 3rd round this morning. And Homa started this final round 2 back of Burns, and that's exactly what the margin is right now. They're both 3 under for this final round.
So it's a full 4% across this green, left to right, what Max has. So you put 4 fingers up and have a look, 15 feet. That means like 3 feet of break. And he didn't see it. How didn't he see that? Quite surprised.
Super side though. Birdie at 1, 6 and 7. Let's go to 10.
And see what, checking with Jordan Spieth. Yesterday let a few go. Today just even for his round. Started missing greens yesterday in those high breezes, and that was the big problem. Yesterday was a day for sort of fairways and greens, if that was possible.
Lost his touch with his scrambling.
Back to 9.
Matt Jones, a couple under. Great putt. Great putt all the way.
These Aussie boys aren't afraid of quick greens, are they, Ian?
No, that's for sure.
All right, Dustin. He's got some issues over here on the left side of 9.
He has an angle, but he doesn't have much of a lie, and that tree is something he's going to have to get this up probably as fast, if not faster, than the fairway bunker shot he had at the last hole.
Boy, Dottie, that was a pretty severe miss off the tee. Way off the fairway.
That's a 30 miss.
Yeah. Wow, that is. What else could make it more difficult? Might have to be sensible, because if he did hoist it over the tree and come up short, that would plug in that bunker, and that's. He might be looking sideways. What is that thing in front of him,
Well,
Dottie?
that is a. It's a waste can tied into a bunch of the cables. It's like almost, well, actually, it's like a utility box.
Peter Dotchison, you can weigh in on this, please.
That's just some of the wires that the Safari cable and the internet around the golf course that's just movable.
Just going to chop it back into play.
The lie and the angle lay on the tree were that bad.
He didn't figure he had the bandwidth to get it there.
Very good, Jim.
He's got to be careful because Burns has outplayed him to this point by a shot. Here's Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Oh, excellent from that lie. Got to. Oh, you're joking.
Back to the 10th.
Tricky little pitch here for Tony Finau.
Yeah, chipping it straight back up the hill. Got to get it up onto that top plateau.
Got a little. Oh, he's landed it in the short. Oh, he could have landed right where his ball is, Trevor, couldn't he? Because there's a nice upslope for 2 paces there.
I think that's what he was intending to do. Mishit it.
It's been 20 top 5 finishes since his win back in 2016. Means he's extremely good. But a little bit of a question mark. To 9.
Dustin will play first from 122, the wind helping. He plays about 7 yards from this point.
It's interesting. There's only been a handful of players. I mean, a real handful who managed to get right to the flag on their second shots. Obviously, this is his third, but
that's a 100% all-in sand wedge.
You go right at it, and if he gets the kick, see, you pull it left for safety, and then you, as we've just seen, leave a brutal putt. That's the Finau putt.
Okay, still can get out of here though with his par. And now he's waited for a while because he's center strike. Well, not center strike, but right center, but deep. And here he goes again. Sam Burns.
Another sand wedge, 4 yards closer. That may need to go a touch.
Oh, that's going to help.
Lucky.
Oh, how about this?
He stiffs it at 7, and then at 9, just clears the top of that bunker. He's in there cozy.
Yeah, there's times to play brave shots, and this was one of them. Even though it's a short club, you're forced to go for it because bailing out leaves you an impossible chance. So why not?
To 10.
And while that was happening, Cameron Smith here at 10.
Don't let this fool you. Very difficult, very fast.
We're hearing the greens were not cut this morning, and yet they're still fast. But there's a bit of a log jam, so this has been played as a call-up hole. This is now Max Homa. Top tracer provided by Top Golf shows it's a similar shot to Cameron Smith. Not to be a little splash out, perhaps. Homa embraces social media. Even did a little bit of stand-up comedy by the age of 8. But now things are very serious. Sam Burns, done all the hard work so far.
Back at the 9th, and Matthew Fitzpatrick had stayed up on that fringe.
Looking to go back-to-back after a kick-in birdie. It's at the previous hole.
Well, why not? Wow. Why not?
Well, that'll cheer him up. You can see by the great big smile on his face. Go on, give us a smile.
No, over to 10.
Yeah, Tony Finau, this is the putting grip that he used back in 2019. Needs to work now.
Can he hit it hard enough up this hill?
Oh, couldn't wish for a better time. Look at that rash of birdies.
Suddenly in these tee shots, tee shot 11, so important to make an easy 4.
Back to 9.
Dustin with a par attempt.
Too firm. Not a lot, but just enough.
You know, he started the day parring the first, which for him is like a bogey. Let's get to the 10th.
To get to 9 under. We might just have some fun on this back 9. Yeah, more than a handful of players within reach of Sam Burns. Unlike yesterday, starting to see birdies. 4 rounds in the 60s at Augusta. No one else ever has done that. To 9.
And you couldn't help but notice just how perfect those edges of the bunkers, the lips of those bunkers. Just a beautiful, groomed golf course here in excellent shape. And Burns for birdie.
This could make the second 9 a lot more comfortable. Wow.
How about dead center? How about 31 with the lead?
Throws a little bit of pressure on you now because you start thinking, yep, don't want to let your mind get too far ahead. But you're certainly the man to beat now, aren't you?
That's mighty impressive. Been leading for 4 days. Fearless heading to the final 9.
As Sam Burns looks on, Dustin Johnson, and taking that mark away, Johnson with a chance to go ahead and clean things up here inside of 3 feet. And to stay at 9 under within 3 of the lead. Make that 4 of the lead after the birdie from Burns. But Johnson still at 9 under par. You go to the back 9 and you have to start thinking that there's going to be limited opportunities, and he certainly knows that. He's struck a couple of nice putts. They just haven't fallen for him. And so Burns is the one they're chasing, and DJ is in the chase position. Jordan Spieth now. Second at 11. 4 under is Spieth. He's not been able to move off of that number. A 1 birdie, 1 bogey day, even overall for the round. And that one just slides off the edge. So Matt Jones with his scramble from off the green. And Jones will walk up to put a mark on that. He was about 50 feet from the cup and has a short putt left. Max Homa. And he is bunkered here at the 10th. And after his tee shot found that greenside bunker, this is his second below the hole. And so now Homa will try and size up about an 8-footer. And if he can make that, it's going to get him back to within 2 of the lead. And so this is the back and forth that we're enjoying at the top of our leaderboard to see who can keep it rolling.
To the par 5 at 11th.
And Tony Finau is 9 under on the par 5s this week.
360 to the end of the fairway. Downwind, he can push it down there.
Started 3-3 on 10 and 11 on the back 9 yesterday, and had 2 eagles in his round here and the first. Boy, that ball's running a long way in the Kikuyu. That is really unusual. It's so firm and perfect. That's right to the end, Trevor.
Sure is.
Oof. It's just a runway down there at 11.
Yeah, that's the tee. Way back there. That's miles back.
I tell you what, it's not the widest tee shot either. It's pretty narrow, but if you hit a straight one, like you say, these fairways are pretty quick, just like the greens.
Cam, of course, can't wait to get back to Florida. See his hairdresser when he gets home.
He says his mother hates the haircut, girlfriend hates the haircut, but his buddies love it.
That's because they can give him some stick.
This down the right-hand side, trying to hang on to the fairway.
Not too bad there.
Sam Burns leads by 3. We're on the tee at the 10th.
Marvelous view from above. Hole looks a little simple, but well bunkered. That's the protection.
Just mustn't lose it to the right, Frank. That's possibly why I did that.
No, Amanda just referenced the Corn Ferry Tour. That's where Sam Burns won 2018 in Savannah. before he got on the big tour. Bunker in front of the green, that didn't used to be there when this hole was first built. So Max having a little look where Sam Burns hit it. Just a little halt in rhythm. Some good players there behind this tee. Cardboard cutouts might be smiling, but these guys are serious right now. Dustin Johnson, time for a move.
Yeah, just a touch of breeze hurting right now, Frank, and maybe a little from the right, but not much.
No, not cutting. Now, the only player to make eagle actually here this week, Sergio Garcia, hold it from the bunker. It's tough for me to navigate. Needed a globe, some directions. Max Homa doesn't need any help here.
I'm going to get the pilot to sign it for you tonight as we all fly back to Florida.
I would appreciate that. You know, Nick, you've been in this situation tons of times. You know, you look at the leaderboard, there's three. And he would know. Sam Burns, remember yesterday, bogey 12, 13 and 14.
Yeah. All the players know that. They know how tough they are. They've all looked at the whole sheets. There's a couple of belters, you know, the 12th and 15th, extremely difficult. And of course the pressure, they sense that Sam's meant to feel the pressure if you're trying to win for the first time. So every player knows, come on, I've got to make this. This is a huge opportunity. Can I get one closer?
Oh, and he does.
Good up and down. There haven't been many get up and down from that front bunker. Not in this situation. It's definitely not.
And of course, too, when you're finding the hole, too, the hole looks a little bigger.
Yeah.
You're chasing, you've got nothing, feel like you've got nothing to lose. So Matt Jones also at 8 under. Going to need something remarkable coming in. To 11.
Just off the back of the green here at 11 is Jordan Spieth. Just checked a little on the way down the hill there. He's at 4 under par. It's a long way back, but still continues the resurgence. Just the occasional hiccup here and there, but gradually gathering some more momentum and confidence in his game these last few tournaments. Rome wasn't built in a day, Frank. It takes a while to build back that confidence when you've had a downtime.
It's taken a while too for Sam Burns. Keeps putting himself in this situation. Dustin Johnson has paid the price more than once. And yet he's on the verge of perhaps winning for the 25th time out here.
Frank, Dustin does have a little alleyway between those first two bottle brush trees. Landed in the upslope, and it's actually semi-controllable.
And Dottie, I mean, it's amazing. You think of all the great long par fours here at Riviera, and that this one here, I mean, it does a lot of things because there's a hold up too. You get into a rhythm through the first 9, and then all of a sudden you get a call up or you got to wait, and then it's fiddly, it's tricky.
It is. I mean, I think it's changed over the years with the equipment, but it still has so many good things going for it.
Straight into the tree.
I promise you that corridor wasn't that narrow. But it just shows you how it's just hard to win out here, period.
The amazing thing is, too, I was looking at one of the stats this morning from 40 yards over the last few days. The best players in the world from within 40 yards couldn't hit this green more than 58% of the time.
Sometimes when you're in the rough and you hit down on it, it comes up a little higher than you expected.
Yeah, you just don't have the control that you would, and it was an okay lie.
Does Sam have a root, Dottie?
He does. It's wider. I think the lie is a little more uniform.
Oh. Wow. I'm not so sure. He's looking at the right edge of the green.
Yeah.
He can use the contours to kick it around.
He absolutely can.
Oh.
That lie was matted, and he's, oh my goodness, yeah.
And now he's going to be almost back against the tree.
His chipping numbers, if you look at them, are not good.
This hole's 288 yards today. I mean, see ball back in the stands. Once again, you just referenced that ball goes a little higher above the center of gravity.
It looked matted, didn't it, when we did that first close-up? And I don't know, maybe, you know, if you move your chin a fraction, as we know, got to keep your chin on the ball till it's gone.
This little shot around this green begs you to be so perfect that you can pretty much easily mess it up.
Well, these guys are definitely messing it up.
No one hit the green. Matt Fitzpatrick also missed.
Well, the 8th hole at Oakmont at par 3 can measure to 300 yards, nearly 20 yards longer than this. But see, you give them a 500-yard par 4. We were referencing it yesterday with
Just right of it. A little bit farther.
with relatively soft conditions. They don't have a problem. You give them bounce and hop and.
No, the great thing about this hole is a fear factor. Cannot carve it right, so you overreact, pull it left, and then you've got the trees to deal with.
It's really easy to compound a mistake on this hole.
Does Sam have a follow through here?
Restricted.
Well, I remember the up and down at 6 yesterday. And we don't normally talk about his short game, but he hit a great bunker shot here yesterday to make 3. And this one here, it is restricted. He's got to watch the top of the handle. You know, whack that left wrist against the tree. Now to 11.
This for birdie for Jordan Spieth to get to 5 under. 6 under in 10th. So that gets him up into 12th place at 5 under. Just struggled in that second 9 yesterday in the wind. Missed too many greens. Here's the notables in the final round. All the players you know. Open champ from 18, Francesco Molinari there. He resides here in LA now. Took 8 months away from the game. Good to see what all the top names are doing. Now here's Cam Smith after a good drive.
259 to the hole, helping wind. If he lands it on, I'm not quite sure it can stay on the green. It's on a good line, though.
That was really good. We've had 7 guys knock it on. We've had a bunch over the back. And just 3 eagles today, Trevor. JB Holmes, Cam Davis, and Brendan Steele chipped in. From the long 5 to the short 4.
Should be Dustin.
That's correct. Really been a while since Dustin had a good look at birdie or a simple par. It's been really since the 6th hole. So a lot of stress and unsettled.
Go back to that opening hole, hit a perfect drive straight over the top of the flag. Took 3 to get down. It's made a little bit of a struggle. He'll have a look at the book. We'll go to the 11th.
353 for Tony here at 11.
And just a long iron in now. Don't want to miss the screen to the right.
Good call, Trevor. It's much easier to get that one up and down, as we saw yesterday as well. Better to miss a little left. So you'd expect both those guys to have 5 feet or less for birdie.
I can see why he's looking at this, because there's arrows that go to the front of the green, and then this is sort of almost on the highest point, because if you go right of it, then they go in the other direction.
That's correct. He's kind of on the break point of this particular section of the green. His putt will be completely downhill, running against the overall relief of the golf course, so it's running away from the Pacific. But it's one that you have to pay attention to the speed for sure. You know, he said today he would need to drive it better, and that's what set up the difficulty for him over these last few holes. Hasn't found any short grass.
Only hit 2 fairways today.
Well, he's backing off because the player's teeing off at 11, very close by.
As close as you're going to get. Will be a drop shot. Momentarily, Dustin Johnson will be 6 shots behind. And he's going to need more than help from the leader now. Great run of form coming here this week. So if you hit it on the left side of the hole, then it doesn't break. You can try to putt at dead pace.
You have to downhill. Got to be absolute dead weight.
Back at 11 with Finau.
A little bit of an iffy lie, but he does have some green to work with.
Finished second to Dustin Johnson in Saudi a couple of weeks ago. He'll be happy with that one, Trev.
I think so from that lie.
10.
There'd only been 2 bogeys on this 10th hole to date. Wow.
2 huge putts there, Frank, 9 and 10.
He also made a wonderful putt for birdie here yesterday that was just 10 out of 10.
To 11.
Tee shot for Homa. Really can see the top tracer there, way right. We saw a couple of those yesterday down there in the eucalypts. And this guy knows all about the eucalypts, Australian Cameron Smith.
Ball sitting right on top of the Kikuyu. Easy to hit under it. Oh, that's great contact.
Genius around the greens. 2-time Australian PGA champion. And Nick referenced it earlier. Finished second at the Masters last year to Dustin Johnson, shooting all 4 rounds in the 60s. No one's ever done it before. It's a beautiful day here in SoCal. Sam Burns 2 in front.
Behind 18 green is CT Pan, and trying to negotiate the remainder here. See if he can get up and down for par. Pops it out of that Kikuyu, and some work left for his 4. 2 birdies, 2 bogeys on the front side, but Pan did rattle off 3 birdies in a row to start the back half, so he's hoping he can hang on to that score of 68 today. He's going to need that par putt, though. Pan in the group with Jim Furyk and Kevin Streelman, and all 3 are finishing up at the 18th. A bit of a busy day for close to 24 players that did not finish their 3rd rounds. They had to come right back out early today to finish things up. Jim Furyk and his birdie try to get to 3 under. Furyk running out of speed. That looked like the needed line, just the pace lacking. So 1 birdie on each 9 today for Furyk. A quiet 18. The rest of the holes all pars. So 16 of those and a couple of birdies, and he'll finish up with a round of 69. And so Furyk getting to the clubhouse at 2 under. 13 under is the score to beat right now, as Burns has the lead.
We're so excited by our bright future. We had just this past year the introduction of the all-new, our first ever flagship SUV, the GV80, and of course the all-new G80. So our optimism for the year is really tremendous. And then with the Genesis Invitational, it provides a great platform for us to share our passion, to share our story in one of the greatest golf landscapes, in my opinion, Riviera Country Club, alongside one of the greatest golfers, if not the greatest golfer of all time, Tiger Woods. So it's a tremendous opportunity for us this year, and we're very excited.
You should be. You've got yourself a great tournament. Congratulations, Mark, for all that you're doing for these kids and the arts. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much, Jim. It's great to see you.
That was the second shot for Max Homa. A spectacular shot, I might say. Just laying up, just threading it between the trees off the path.
Ian, I was actually standing behind him when he hit that shot, and it catches the last little bit of eucalyptus on that last tree limb.
That was, we had alias Smith and Jones on the same hole there at one point. Jones back at the tee and Smith up on the green. Making their way down between the eucalypts.
I used to love that show. Alias Smith and Jones.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Fantastic. That was fun.
And we saw, of course, Tony Finau making his putt there for birdie at 11 to go to 2 under. And here he is at 12.
Well, you know me. I never want to be doom and gloom. But just want to point out 12, 13, 14 and 15. It's a degree of difficulty. Toughest hole the 12th, then the 5th, then the 3rd, then the 2nd. Birdies 3 on 12, then 7, then 2, then 1 on 15. So just wanting to stress how tough it's going to be down this next 4 holes.
Yeah, just get through that stretch, even par. You'll gain on the field for sure. Let's get back to the tee at 11.
Jump into Genesis and buckle up over the next few holes.
A little bit easier fit here if you can manage to hit a bit of a cut.
You forgot the bit.
No, that's that could be stymied behind a eucalyptus tree on that left side.
Yeah, didn't get.
He will have a swing.
Didn't get the fade he was after. 6 back too, with 8 holes to go. Now Sam.
This golf ball doesn't really bend a whole lot. If anything, it seems to be a high fade, but it really doesn't have a lot of movement.
That's the high fade again. Hasn't birdied this hole this week, surprisingly, with his length. Maybe the tee shot doesn't set up well.
Well, he was even shorter than that yesterday. He was fortunate. They had to play across the branker. He didn't even know the branker was there, did he?
Yeah, that's right. He said, "Oh, didn't know that came into play."
It won't come into play. It shouldn't anyway. He's got a swing and a shot and a decent lie. It's time for Dustin to put a foot on the pedal.
Actually, could come into play for Dustin's drive if he hits a good one.
It could, yes.
Tony hit it to the end of the fairway, Dottie. He was 353. Oh, yeah. That is absolutely perfect. But he needs to make a move. Dustin Johnson now at 6 back at 7 under par.
11 underscore thanks to birdies at 10 and 11. Tee shot now for Cameron Smith. And he stands in the shadows at 12, hugging that left side. And this one's going to find the center of the fairway, drifting just a little bit to the left portion. So a good tee shot. Smith along with Cantlay and Finau. This is Max Homa. Homa coming through 11. And so now, as he works the back 9. This one just hanging on that back edge. So looks like the tee shot was 241, left 350 coming in, so he chose to lay up. He's about 16 feet away. Jordan Spieth now. Spieth for par, and he needed that. He had finally moved it to 5 under. He got off that number of 4 under, which it seemed he was stuck on for quite some time, but he gives the shot right back.
Wyndham Clark lost some shots at the end of the day yesterday and now has recovered 3 of them here in the final round, looking for another birdie.
Just puts the birdie count up 25% from 3 to 4.
Giving him away now. Let's see the Burns predicament over at 11.
The ball is sitting really nice. He's got a pretty long open area, but he's going to have to keep this ball in the air just at about 195 yards to get to the right side cover of the Barranca.
Yeah, I think he'll take the 3-wood out there and fade it around, get it up there to the front left of the green with a good one. We'll see what he does. Depends on the lie, of course. And Max Homa, a couple of birdies so far this week on the 11th. Man who tri-captained his team at Cal and won 11 of 14 tournaments. Would dearly love to win here at Riviera, his favorite course on tour. Ten under on the par 5s this week. Can he get to 11? Yeah. He was hoping the third shot would spin back a little down that slope. Now back to Burns.
He ticked the last little bit of eucalyptus as Max Homa did, but came out looking great. Right half of the fairway. He'll have just a long pitch left.
Okay, perfect.
That's a huge help to be on the short grass.
Control the spin at 12.
Tony Finau.
And Nick, you referenced the tough stretch of holes coming up, partly because they're playing back into that sea breeze.
Oh no, I was just going to say you cannot go left.
Straightening out for a moment. He's fine.
He's trying to hang in there, not too bad.
I thought that curve was left. That's okay miss.
Back to 11.
Matt Jones doesn't mess around, one of the fastest players on tour. Still remember Matt up whistling straights when he hit it up in the grandstands there at the PGA.
Yeah.
Verity said, I'll leave it to you, Jim.
That was on the 9th hole there. Yeah, hit it right off the carpet. Rahm having a big final round at 4 under.
Yeah, he was 4 under after 6. So hasn't added any more.
Well, you've just come through that stretch. You said you can't get any, and
look at that.
they lost one in holes 12 through 15.
How about that 14th, par 3? Third toughest hole on the golf course.
Back to 12 with Cameron Smith.
Exact same distance Finau had, so got a good idea of how that ball reacted into the wind.
Okay, I like that line. I really like that line. That's all you can do, isn't it, Trevor?
That's pretty good right there. Anything just left of this hole is going to feed off the green.
Can't go 6 feet left of that flag, it will be off the green.
Back to 11.
Well, he'll have to wait. Just an iron dotty for Dustin.
Oh, yes.
Okay, can we make birdie here? Out of the bunker. So Gooch will remain at 10 under. Sorry, 5 under through 11 now. 5 under through 10. Even on his round. That's in 13th place. So it's quite bunched there from 5th place down. But Sam Burns continues to impress with that lead. Started with the lead on Thursday with 64 and has continued to lead all week. DJ's out there almost 350 yards. Just an iron in the hand, waiting on his second. But some tidy up work here for Max. Takes a lot of concentration to handle the nerves for these guys at this at the pointy end of the competition, if you will, Nick. The final 9.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every single shot obviously means a lot, but they've got to go through the whole routine, because there's nothing easy, even on the 3-foot tap-ins.
Correct. They all count the same. Those 3-footers, the same as the 350-yard drive. So just the par. He remains 11 under, 2 back. Perfect angle, Dottie, for Dustin.
And just a 5-iron. 214 to the front. The ocean breeze is helping. Shaping it nicely. Need a hop.
It did.
That is so unlucky.
Did get a hop.
Right off the boom mic.
Yeah, it could have hopped to the right, couldn't it? Given him a putt. But still an easy chip there. Needs some birdies, though. Sam Burns continues to lead here in LA.
Out to the tee at 16, and Francesco Molinari. 7 under par. Molinari coming from the left side of the tee. This pin is on that left side. That one just settles in the bottom of that collection area. It's been the 8th easiest, so right about middle of the pack in terms of scoring. Over 60 birdies made and 68 bogeys or worse. So the stroke average just minimally off of par. And a lot of give and take. From the 16th, we get to 10 now. And we'll take a look at this angle. The tee at 10. We'll get back to the 10th in just a moment. Taylor Gooch, one of the players right now, working the back 9, trying to see if he could salvage a good score. He's had a couple of birdies and a couple of bogeys today, but slipped off of that second page of the leaderboard. Molinari right now working 16. He is at 7 under par, tied 6th on the leaderboard. So he's one of the players right now trying to inch a little closer to that top spot if he can. Xander Schauffele is at 16, 2 under par. Another one of the California kids, very talented, coming through the junior ranks and playing a lot of these styled golf courses in the Southern California area. That one's a pretty good tee shot, and it'll give him a good look. We go back to the tee for Jon Rahm. Molinari missing the green. Schauffele with a good spot. Let's see where Rahm will operate from. Just short of the putting surface.
We're back with Tony Finau putting from just off the front.
And a tricky putt to read here. Got to come up and over a little knoll at the front of the green. So pretty slow and then quick as it gets over.
Got the round of the day in progress. Should be able to knock that in. It's not a gimme, but he's 6 under to this point in round 4. Let's get back to our leader at 11.
Did not get the spin.
Yeah, didn't get the spin.
From 89 yards. He should have hit that in stiff. Up at 12.
Smith for birdie.
Oh, it bobbled. God, killed it. Probably, whatever, 4 inches of speed might have made a difference.
Smith 3 back. Finau 2 back. Homa 2 back on the tee at 12. Gonna love this one.
Yeah, guys stepping up their best golf now.
We're at 11 now.
How's the lie there for DJ?
Perfect.
Good.
Just could have gone to the right just as easily as it went to the left when it hit that microphone.
Yeah, exactly. This is not far away from where Tony Finau chipped in yesterday for an eagle.
He's going to wait just a second while the guys pass by coming off the 12th, that group ahead of him.
There we see them through the sycamore tree there.
Such a nice walk around here. The greens and tees are close.
Old style course, just
Yeah.
great design. Spectacular.
It's like having a walk in a park when there's all this busyness around you.
It's amazing, so many good golf courses just within a couple of miles of each other. You know,
Oh,
LA
gosh.
Country Club and Bel Air, just beautiful.
Brentwood, I mean, there's a lot of golf close. It's a shot you practice with your eyes closed sometimes. Settle.
All right, that's where Tony chipped to today and made his birdie. Little frisky down the hill, but not bad. Hasn't shot over par on a Sunday round since the final round here last year. So a full year has gone. He shot 1 over 72 last year here and hasn't shot over par since on a
How
Sunday.
awful. 1 over.
Yeah, that was his bad round.
My goodness, that's quite a stat.
Into the breeze at 13, Finau.
If anything, a little draw would be ideal.
Eucalyptus trees down the left, very much in play today.
Just stands up on it a touch now, doesn't he? Under pressure.
It's going to need a little luck in there, Nick.
Yeah, he rehearses, staying down. He tries to, have like a low draw downswing. That's his feeling, even though he's trying to cut it. But he definitely stood up on that one.
Little downhill soft touch, Dottie.
Yeah, test of nerves, especially with those 2 sprinkler heads right in front of you, and he passes. Big time.
Very nicely done. He wouldn't have been happy with the pitch. Just the tap for par. Remains at 13 under, a couple ahead.
Now at 13, Cam Smith. Remember first seeing him, it has to be about 8 years ago in the Asia Pacific Amateur Golf Championship, and he wouldn't have weighed 130 pounds. Seriously. I mean, he could chip and he could putt, but now he's put on about 30 or 40 yards off the tee, and it makes him very competitive. Great initiative. As we go back to 11.
Yeah, they're all working out so hard, aren't they, and putting on weight in the right places and remaining supple and training specifically for golf. I've got to give a good shout out to our technical crew this week. The drone shots, the overhead shots, just this course just shows so well, and this just helps the show. Everyone at home, I'm sure, loves seeing it from this angle and different angles that we haven't seen in the past. Well done. Tough day yesterday in that wind.
And a shout out to them too, because they've really been with us since we restarted in June, and they moved on to football and back to golf, and there'll be more basketball, and then the Masters. These bunch of road warriors, and they've all been safe.
That's for sure. We all reconvene in Augusta National first week of April after the basketball's finished. Now Dustin for birdie. What's let him down this week, Dottie, is he's only 3 under on the par 5s. Make that 4 under.
Not normal for him. You're exactly right. This is where he usually prints money in bunches. Or should I say FedEx Cup points?
Yes, well, actually, this is one of the elevated events, too. You mentioned that it's 550 FedEx Cup points this week, not just the 500. 12.
And Matt Jones earlier was out of bounds over there.
Well, we're never going to see it cross. Waiting on a signal. He doesn't. That's what he's thinking.
Not good when you got to go to the sleeve. Max Homa. At the 12th.
Could be really bold. Get over the ridge.
That's excellent.
Yeah, excellent shot.
Sam Burns, 7 holes to go. Margin got to 1 for a brief while. It's now 2, heading down the stretch.
What a beautiful look from up above here at Riviera Country Club. And it gives you an idea of the sight lines that these players are dealing with. And Sam Burns is just trying to remain cool and collected. Matthew Fitzpatrick right in front of him. And these players, as we look from up above, you can see the chute of trees that they have to deal with. And so we'll we'll check back on those at the tee. And Tony Finau is about to hit his second. 173 is the number. Coming up the right side of the 13th, the dogleg left. And he has one of those big, beautiful eucalyptus trees to deal with. And so Finau, check the yardage, check the idea of the shot, and make sure it can clear. It looks like an okay lie. There's a little bit of rough behind him, but he's going to have to move it left to right to get it on line. 173 is the yardage for Tony Finau. It appears he's looking left of this beautiful eucalyptus tree just in front of him. And he'll just try and see if he can carve it out. The pin you can see on the right side. And that one will lay just in front of the green. So not the best of positions to operate from, but given where he was, he'll certainly accept that, and it'll give him a chance to see if he can scramble his way to a par. He's right now at 11 under and 4 under on the front, going out in 31, and then quickly adding 2 birdies on the back. So he's working a 6 under day right now.
Back to 12.
Fitzpatrick's on the tee now.
Talked about some FedEx Cup points on the last hole. This is a big week for that young man and his status. He way down the list. Every swing's going to matter a lot.
He's going to like that swing. 26-year-old who's won 6 times in Europe. And in December, just 2 months ago, he won the DP World Tour Championship in Dubai. And now Rocket Drive presented by Rocket Mortgage.
I think he'd like to just put that 54% up a notch, but
that
no.
needs to get down quickly.
Was that going left, Dottie?
That may be re-teed and off the golf course.
Oh my goodness, he hasn't hit anything left. Has he at all this week?
He seemed so quick to get in the slot and hit that shot much quicker than normal.
Yeah, well, I mentioned that was went up 9. Like, took a wild thrash at it, which is all right when it's going well, but you've got to control your. Oh, that's. That went in 20 feet up, so I assume it's gone over the fence.
And we do have a spotter down there, and the early signal is that he's okay.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Let's now show you what Dustin did as Finau was playing his second at the 13th.
Yeah, good swing here. Cuts the corner.
Well, it's going to be some break for Burns. I mean, that hit way up on the boundary line. Could have just seen a lot of work, days of work, just get tossed aside with one poor swing. Remember, yesterday he was up against the boundary line right of the 6th green.
Yeah,
super save pars we've seen in a long time. Oh yeah. Oh,
well,
where it came down.
If that's kicked out as well, it obviously is way back. Way back. Let's have a look.
Better than reloading, hitting 3. Let's go to 13.
After a long drive, Cameron Smith.
Stuck between the 9 and the wedge, went with the 9.
Top Tracer technology powered by Top Golf. He was not even going to take that flag on. Tucked there behind the bunker. Back a hole.
Homa for birdie.
Double breaker. Came left to right down the hill, then tried to go back. He's going to have 215 yards, though. He may have to make a decision about actually going for the green with the Barranca in the front. Obviously, we've got the bunker right. We've got Bogart's tree to the left.
4 for Homa. That didn't look too optimistic in flight, though, that tee shot, did it, Nick?
No, he's fortunate to get away. Now he's got to make a smart decision what he does.
To 13.
And Tony's going to chip it.
Yeah, quite a difficult shot here because he has to take it up near the right edge of the green. It's then going to kick down and to the left. Needs perfect contact to control the spin. That's great, Frank.
Oh, you're exactly right, Trevor. Really in trouble off that tee shot when he blocked it way right. These are the holes that Nick Felder were talking about, 12, 13, 15.
I was going to add, Frank, you know, you go through these 4 holes and hit, maybe go through 1 under through the 4, so you hit 1 great shot to give you the 1 under, and when then 1 bad shot could cost you. So this is, I'd say this is the knife edge of the round, these next 4 holes.
Or get 1 lucky break.
But
And
look at, sorry, go ahead, Dottie.
This was 1 lucky break. He's also ended up with a really good lie.
Oh, that's a huge help, even though he's a long way back. There's the tiny avenue. You've got to thread it between the tree and the bunker.
He's got 202 to the front.
Okay, it's probably about a
214 to the hole, into the wind.
6 or 7 for these guys.
87 is 2 grass on the other side, right in line with it.
I feel like I hit the 6 and just go ahead and hit it. Probably be like the other one. I'm not opposed to the other one either.
I like the other team. I don't like you having to hit it hard off that ball below your feet like that.
Okay. Are we looking pretty much at it to the radar?
Radar. Yep.
That right bunker's fine, isn't it?
It's not great. Okay. We're just looking at probably just trying to hit a little low one, you know, control the trajectory a little bit.
Yeah. I like that.
Right around 200-yard shot. Maybe just slightly more.
Discussing things with Travis Perkins, who's caddied in the past for Aaron Wise and Brant Snedeker and others out here. He was a very good college player himself at Florida Southern back in the late 90s, a 3-time All-American.
Actually had a little time on tour, so with those numbers they discussed with that great audio, he's looking for a flyer.
Yeah, I'd take that rather than even that right-hand bunker. Okay. It's got a bit of room. Just cannot go long left though. It'll be off the green. So a nervy little 60-degree off the back foot.
To 13.
Can you get to 11 under? Cameron Smith. Oh, through the shadows and nearly down. Third player in this group, Patrick Cantley, struggled today. +2 for his round, so he's dropped back to 3 under as we go to 12.
Fitzpatrick stepping in.
Stepped off once as the breeze came up. It's now settled down again. Billy Foster there on the bag for Matt. He's seen some Sunday afternoon battles, Nick.
Most definitely. One of the most seasoned guys was on Seve's bag for moons.
Not getting a single. I'm betting on a kind of 3-fingered 6-iron.
Still an excellent shot. It shows you how tough a hole is when the bunker right, tree left. The only bailout is to hit it dead straight. It's your only option.
We told you Dusty could be quick in the full game, full swing. Here he fires.
Picked it super clean.
He needs to stick one into kicking. Yeah, they're not going to risk going left of the flag.
Finau made his par at 13. Burns with the big break coming off the tee at 12. Been the talk of Los Angeles since Thursday. 64, 66 the first 2 days. Leads by 2.
Brandon Grace, we get out to the work at 16. He's at 2 under par. Right now he's outside of the top 125 in the FedEx Cup. That's an important number as we go along this year. And that one trickles down the fall line, missing a cup or two to the left. So it'll just be a par. Now a hole further along, the par 5. Francesco Molinari with his second shot. This one trying to work up that left side. He had 286 coming in, and the wind helping, and that pin is on the opposite side, so we'll see how they handle that. The final group's coming through with that seemingly last scoring opportunity. Downhill putt. Schauffele trying to get it to stay, and you can see it just falls offline. It really doesn't move that much. So this is Andrew Landry at the 16th. So he'll settle for a par. Landry alongside Brandon Grace and James Hahn. And John Rahm now at the 17th. Second shot. John Rahm attacking at 17. Hole playing 590 yards. And the best path is up that left side. But if you get it on that line, it'll start to work to the opposite side if it comes in at the right amount of speed. But he had 240 coming in. And so he vaults it all the way to the back of the green and is about 70 feet from the cup. Burns did as well. He settled for par at 11, so he kept those others in the conversation. Here's a past winner in James Hahn. Oh, he misses at 16. Had a terrific tee shot. It did leave the downhill putt, but there wasn't much break in that at all. And taps in for the par. So Hahn with a great opportunity, but it passes him by.
With Epic, Callaway is framing the future of speed. Can he find another miraculous up and down after that tee shot?
No, that's what I'm talking about. The edges are rolled and it's gone.
Nick, you warned him.
Yeah, well, he boldly went on that second shot, just got a really tough angle.
14.
We talked about this tough stretch. This par 3 is no snack.
There's a ridge 30 feet right of this hole you can use. Bring it back down toward the hole. Was headed right at that ridge.
Ah, good call, Trevor.
That's a great shot, guys. I mean, you've got to err on the safety, haven't you? And go for the fat of the green and try and work it, turn it in towards the flags for safety.
Good shot there for Finau at 14. We're back at 12 green.
Still Burns off the green in 3. It's his play.
It's really a two-part shot uphill. Very slow to start, and then it will pick up some speed when it starts to sling itself to the right.
Suddenly the wind starts flapping around.
He's currently not qualified for next week's WGC Workday Championship at the concession. But if he wins, he'd move into the top 10 in the FedEx Cup standings, which would qualify him. And the same goes for Max Homa. With a win, he would get in.
They told me he has a 6 a.m. flight, so I don't know where it's going, but it's early.
Oh man, he is going to have to bear down on a bogey putt. Watch out.
Yeah, wow. So, well, it is a mess. It's an official mess down there at the 12, pulling it, kicking inbounds, but hard work around the green.
13.
Just lean on a 9-iron for Homa. Smart, middle of the green. It's not a bad place to putt from. It's actually slightly up the hill.
Very difficult to get across that right-hand corner. You can't risk getting caught up.
To 14.
Cam Smith hit it to 4 feet here in round 1. Can he do it again?
It's got to go.
Go.
He knew it, Trevor. 1/2 a club short.
Hit the same club as Tony. He was always going to struggle a little.
Yeah, not many hit it as far as Tony, that's for sure.
No kidding. I would not be hitting the same club as Tony.
A shake of the head there for Smith as we head back to 12.
So Mr. Burns has given everybody a bit of green light, hasn't he?
It's changed everything.
Yeah.
It's going to give away at least one.
If Dustin can somehow manage to sneak this one in, it's certainly one of those guys that it's game on for.
And Donnie, you saw the tee shot for Burns, and I mean, he thought it was almost a foregone conclusion. It was so high up into the trees.
I was shocked. It was so high in the trees. Reminds you to never give up hope, I guess.
Yeah. A cautious stroke. We move to 13.
You never know, Jim. This just potentially might be a tie for the lead. 26 feet, if anything. Move left as it slows down. It's going to get there. Oh, great putt. It's a bit like you, Ian. He actually goes by his middle name. First name, John. Same up ahead, 14.
Nice little action there, Trevor. Just didn't get the roll out he wanted.
Yeah, almost. Just needed a little more and it would have climbed its way down there. I feel like it's the point of the tournament where he has to get it up and down.
That's for sure. 12.
This putt for a 5. Oh, side door it is. Didn't waste any time, did he?
I'm shocked there wasn't a fist pump after that one. That was really important.
He was deciding whether to breathe or not, Dottie.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it was a bit of a stroke, wasn't it? The stroke was definitely going left to help it. Wow. Okay, keep it in play, young man.
Back to 14.
Where Tony Finau has a putt to tie the lead at 12 under.
Yeah, he's walked all the way around the cup to get a good look at it. Kind of get the feel that it has to have a little pull down toward that low point at the 6th green. Just get it rolled somewhere around that left edge down there. Match the speed to it.
Perfect example, Trevor, is how things can change in this little tough stretch between 12 and 15. You know, you make a birdie or two. It's quite easy to make a bogey or two. This is where the tournament's won and lost.
Tony's nearly old school with no line on the ball. Everybody else does some kind of lining up trick.
Yeah, I know. I preferred it white on top. Just see the ball itself, nothing else.
Well, you were a face liner upper, weren't you? You just looked at the face of the...
And the line overall.
Oh, obviously,
yes.
but you lined the face to the line.
Yes.
Not lines on the putter.
Correct. So just the par there at 14 for Tony, but it's not a bad... Just a little uncomfortable with the putter at times. He's trying to get a little farther away.
You got to be careful of that, because he get too far away, and I'm not sure if that's a face balance putter, but that wouldn't work.
Burns hiding out behind the bag after making a 5. But this was early. Center cut. That was at the 9th. At 10. Remember, poor second. Chipped it up to here. That was a par save. And then this one a moment ago. They had the membership back at Squire Creek, his home club back in Northwest Louisiana, the course built by the James Davison family. Everybody sitting around cheering on their man, including his great friend, the pro there, and his golf coach, Brad Pullen. Some story, wouldn't it, to go wire to wire at Riviera?
Well, that might be the end of Dustin after that. That must do his mind in. Middle of the fairway. Another 3-putt.
He took an extraordinary extraordinarily long time over that second putt, even for Dustin. There was nothing convincing you that he thought he was going to make that putt.
Just when he thought he'd pick up a shot, he matches the leader with a 5 on the card. Lead is 1 for Burns.
Cameron Smith standing over this putt and missing on the left side. He'll have to clean that up. Smith with 5 birdies on his card and coming through 13th, just trying to figure things out right now. Jon Rahm, after he played his second through the green here at the 17th. This is his third, about 70 feet back to the pin. And Rahm with a nice bit of touch. Terrific work there, and it gives him a short putt for birdie. And he'll have a great opportunity to see if he can go ahead and hold that. These players are coming down the stretch with the final few opportunities. They know that as they run out of time, they have to lock in. Now let's get to the tee for Sam Burns. And this hole shape is right to left. He wants to get it through that tree-lined area. And Burns looks like he has done a super job of that up the right side, especially after that crucial putt was holed to minimize the damage.
14.
Homa on the tee here at the par 3. We saw Cam Smith miss his par putt to drop back to 9. Oh. You can hear those balls bounce off these firm greens.
That was a good shot, but it's a little bold.
Here's Jon Rahm at 17. He hit a big drive up here, only had 240 to the green. And a nice birdie there for John. Can he get a birdie up the last and get to 8 under par? 15 tee after the disappointing bogey.
Yeah, Rahm 5 under for the day. Finau 6 under for the day. Here's Cam.
Priority number 1 is to make sure you keep it out of that right fairway bunker. He's done that.
Newest hole location I keep screaming about. We've had 1 ball inside 15 feet, Jim. That's the 15th.
Burns with an impressive tee shot coming off the bogey in the fairway at 13.
A minute ago, here's Patrick Rogers. Rogers with that black and red combo. We'll see the man who made that his Sunday best. Every single Sunday he was competing for a win coming up. Rogers, he'll have that tap-in par. And he's coming through right now with a 6 under score overall, a 3 under round today. First, James Hahn. Hahn with his approach coming into the par 5 17th. And Hahn hoping this one lands softly just past the pin. From 146 out, he's left with a 14-footer.
Now the sun is shining still here over Riviera. Golf course firm.
That's an 8-iron in Sam Burns' hands, Frank. Got to keep it 155 in the air to cover the bunker. Another 7 to the hole.
Oh, more than covers the bunker, Dottie.
Jim, bounce back, huh?
You know, Jim referenced his coach, Brad Pullen, for more than a decade. I'm sure he's given him a couple of tips. In the strongest moment, keep it simple and stay ahead to 14.
Has been 19 straight holes. This would be 20 without a bogey. But the good thing is he's 6 under par through 15 to 18 this week. That's a pretty good story on those closing holes. Sam Burns has led the way all week. He continues to lead after that brilliant bogey back at 12. He is 1 in front of Tony Finau and Max Homa, and then there were 3.
Tiger, hang out here for a minute if you don't mind. We're going to go out to Homa at 14.
Well done. That's 20 holes now, Jim and Tiger, for Max Homa without a bogey. He's playing well.
It's pretty good around this place.
I agree, Tiger. It's a tough test. And these last few holes, he's had them 6 under the last 3 days. So that's a good sign. We'll go there now, 15.
Cameron Smith.
Extremely difficult hole location here, front right. Cannot be short. It's an aggressive line.
Wow. Haven't seen many right at the flag, Trevor.
He may have pushed that a touch.
My goodness. Tony Finau. Look how high it hit in that bunker. Nearly cleared it.
Looks like he's going to try and get as far down there as he can. Pretty solid contact, but going to be way short.
And over to 16.
Just 153 yards today. Wrong side of the green to miss for Spieth.
Yeah, but flag on 4, Frank. 4 from the edge.
Try to hit a parachute of a bunker shot.
Yeah.
The tee at 15, Homa. 1 back. You know, being a bystander, being someone just forced to just watch instead of competing, it's never been easy for you. I trust that that hasn't changed this year either, huh?
You know, I've watched a lot of golf, probably the last couple of years, because I was, you know, captaining a President's Cup team, and also, you know, watching a lot of my friends that I've played at home with. They're playing, so, and I didn't really play a whole lot this year, or this past year. So yes, I have watched a lot of golf. My son's starting to get more into it, so he wants to watch golf, and it's just crazy to see, you know, this what they're able to do with no fans. There's no energy, so they have to create it themselves. And whoever can create that energy, you know, amongst your caddy player relationship and keep that going, be able to make your way up the leaderboard and even win tournaments.
Nick, this is Finau's 3rd at the 15th.
Yeah, as Tiger was talking about, has he just got enough angle? But he's got the gully behind it, you see, and that's gone too long, and it will gather. So more than likely a 2-putt there to drop 1.
Finau 15.
Got to climb back up this hill here, breaking from his right.
That's the problem, Trevor, isn't it? You've gone from mega quick all day, and then you've got to give this one a crunch.
Yeah, tough to get this there.
And he blocked it just a little bit.
Gosh, that tee shot was only a foot or so from being perfect. Wow. Right into the lip it flew.
Yeah.
Looking back at the tee at 14.
Ball in the air. Listen for the bounce.
Yep, that was a 7-iron. Needed to stay in the air. 181 of that 188 to the total, to the hole.
Little work left there at 14 as we head up to 15.
And Cam in here, 25 feet for birdie.
Only the second player right to the flag, Jim.
Made a good run at that.
Just 2 birdies. 2 birdies on this hole.
Back to 14.
This was the shot.
Ian, I'm really impressed that his pacing, his body language, nothing has changed.
Yeah, he looks comfortable, and that was just a couple of yards short. If it lands right on the front, it gets there. 15 again.
Yeah, plus he cut it up against the windy, and if he turned it slightly, it would have gone a little further and then kicked down. So, but you've got to play the shot you know you can play. Just because it's a draw, you've still got to go with your fade if that's what you believe is best.
We're at the 14th.
Sam Burns set to go, Dottie.
And he drew a really nice lie, let this ball kind of gather up, gets a little snug. Not snug enough.
No, that's not an easy putt from there. 21 from 26 scrambling this week. 6 of 7 today is Sam Burns. 15.
Max Homa.
Well, we know how big every one of these shots are now. I mean, that's fine, that's smart, that's sensible. You make a 4 at 2 birdies made from actually outside 25 feet. So you just make your 4 at 15.
Meanwhile, 16.
And the hole is cut right on that front left.
And the 16th hole always plays just a touch longer than what you think.
Trevor, he'd like to do what you did all the way back in 2006. Let's make a 1.
That would help right about now.
Hit that one too good. That was a perfect low fly. It just went a smidgen, half a club too far.
He's starting to go back into the corner of the canyon
Yeah.
with his little bit of protection. Remember, 17 is going to be down breeze. Can't believe how far that's gone. Now, Tony Finau, I know he's struggled to finish, but his caddy, Mark Urbanek, he knows how to win around here. He was on James Hahn's bag in 2015.
After seeing Cam's ball, this one club less than 9.
Is it the number?
It looks pretty good.
Oh, it is. Spinning 2, kicking in the right direction. Finau might be 2 behind, but perhaps a birdie here. 17 is reachable to 14.
Just over the back of the green now is Matt Fitzpatrick. Hit a really good shot. No holes in one here at 14. Unfortunately for the players, we've seen a few over the years, but that was the car, that beautiful wine-coloured GV80 for any player. We had one at 16 earlier in the week. Taewoo Kim. He's won a handful of these cars coming from Korea. He won one for winning the Genesis tournament in Korea, and then he won another one. And he said, I'll have to give this one to Mum and Dad, I guess. This is the 3rd one I've won in the last few months.
I agree with you, Ian. Wine colour, lovely claret colour, I would call that one, mate.
International Wine Day.
Every day. It's just Margarita Day, isn't it? International Margarita Day.
I don't know.
Yes.
You guys have done a lot of whining this week.
Oh, Frank. But yes, you're correct, Nick. This one is for par.
Yeah, he played out of the front left bunker. Frank, that was pretty harsh.
I know, you're right, Donnie. I apologize.
He doesn't, Dottie. He doesn't apologize at all.
Just needs to work on his sincerity.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Dustin, you got to make this one. You're 5 back. Maybe make eagle at 17.
Just hasn't been in his normal rhythm today. Struggled off the tee. Just kind of blah. Nothing's happening.
Well, the 2017 champion, #1 in the world, will drop back to 6 under. In the tie for 9th currently. Just not firing on all 12 cylinders. Came in here strong favourite, 5-1. Some of the betting houses had him at the start of the week. That's Tiger-esque when you think about odds coming into an event.
But this was Nick's guy.
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah, my
exactly.
100-1 shot.
Yeah.
There'll be a fist pump on this if he makes this one. Oh, he went off for one drink. Oh, look at that.
And
wobbling down there.
With that 5-shot lead after a couple of rounds, you know, many would have taken him over the field as we go to 15.
Well, Homa.
That's 48 feet, so plenty of pace in his greens. I mean, that looks slow, looks short all the way, but it's okay. 3 feet on the safe side.
for more on Max Homa. Amanda, we'll send it over to you.
Yeah, Jim, Max Homa started coming right here to the Genesis Invitational when he was 2 years old with his parents, John and Bonnie. And Bonnie was telling me, I remember Max being on his dad's shoulders at 2, and then when he was even a little bit older, rain started coming down, thunderstorms, and everyone else wanted to leave, but Max made us go in and go get hoodies and umbrellas so we could stay. Every year, all Max wanted to do was drive that hour down to Riviera so he could, quote unquote, watch the professionals, and now he is one.
Oh. Made a run last year, Amanda, as you recall. And here he is now tied for the lead. Got finally someone side by side with Burns.
He's aiming crooked, Frank, isn't he?
Back against the wall.
Look at this.
And it's going to be lightning quick from right about here.
That's the defense here. Short par 3 with an undulating green, 5 bunkers around it. Punch bowl type green.
There's Matthew Fitzpatrick, beautiful sun up above. We'll get back to him, Tony Finau, as he has this just falling putt at the par 3. And that one goes in. Tony Finau on the back half of the golf course. He is bouncing back after the miss at 15. Lost a shot there, dropped back to 10 under par, but he makes that one. And now to Matthew Fitzpatrick. That sounded like it was in the center of the club face. And that, where the fairway pinches in, he's in a good spot. So Fitzpatrick will have a opportunity to work from the short grass and see if he can knock it on, get it close at 15. This is the par putt up ahead. Homa needing this. Finau's birdie gives him a share, and he hangs on. So he will head to the 16th with that par on the card. And Max, now the pressure of winning has shifted from Burns to Homa at the top. Sam Burns with 2 bogeys over his last 3 holes, so he's fallen back into a tie at 11 under. Working 15, see if he can get it in a good spot. Fitzpatrick in a good position, but Burns, it appears he is not. He has found that bunker to the right side. This is a dogleg right. Might have been trying to clear that number, but did not have enough off the tee, so he'll have to work from that fairway bunker.
So things are happening fast and furious. Finau with a birdie at 16 to make it a 3-way tie. Burns in trouble off the tee. Meantime, at the 15th.
Is that the bunker? You'll clip the tree into Tony Finau's bunker so we can know how deep those lips are there.
16.
Cameron Champ, time's nearly run out. Well, it's now expired. A lot of the players had that little run through the front side. It's back 9. Nick, as you detailed, just really tough to close the deal.
Yeah, that was harsh. It was actually a very good tee shot, wasn't it? Flighted it, didn't come off, then a brutal putt. I mean, what, 25 feet with 15 foot of break.
Well, we talked about the putting grip change of Tony Finau. It's worth looking at one more time. Mistake from Burns and a birdie from Finau. 3 tied at the top, and one of which is Max Homa. Seen the ball fly too far through here. Seen the wind take it, move it to the right.
Start begging.
Oh,
yeah,
what a great shot, isn't it? Just turned a little draw into that left to right breeze.
Just 2 foot longer than Finau's shot. This is key, isn't it? This one, Ian.
Sure is.
A little bit of wind helping and the momentum going his way.
He should just pound this way up over the hill, Trevor. Could get there easily in 2 with a good drive.
It's hanging down the left side.
Tiny reaction because he lost a couple to the right down, wasn't it, 12 and 13?
Good point.
God, just a tiny bit. When the clubhead's moving 135 miles an hour, it's not a lot.
Yeah, it's hard to hit it straight at that speed. It's okay for me. A good one's 100 mile an hour and going 250. Going 350, it's a different story. Now Cam Smith.
It's been a tough last 30 minutes or so. 2 bogeys in the last 3. Good drive here. Maybe get a look at an eagle.
Maybe he can make some magic like he did back at Chambers Bay at the US Open when he hit that shot in stiff at the last for an eagle.
It's a good start.
170 mile per hour ball speed, 280 carry up the hill. Perfect drive for Cam Smith, but he does need a 3-3 finish, you would think. Currently 3 back. Finau, Homa and Burns all tied at 11.
Jason Kokrak is at 18. Second shot coming into the home hole. Coming off birdie at the par 5 17th is from 157. Dogleg right, and he was able to play it up that right side and still have a good angle. That one just spilling through the back. Not the best of leaves for Kokrak, but he'll just try and bump that back onto the putting surface. Jordan Spieth for eagle at 17, reaching here in 2. Spieth, this one from 50 feet away. Now, not his best. He's left himself with a 7-footer. That's certainly more unpredictable than if he'd gotten it a bit closer. Victor Hovland, second at 18. Hovland with a nice drive. 321 off the tee, leaving 146 coming in, and that one sits softly on the green inside of 12 feet. So Hovland will have a chance to finish up with his 3rd birdie on the back 9. He'd have a bogey-free round if he can pull it off. Alex Noren is for birdie, just missing on the right side. At the top of our leaderboard, the lead changing hands, and it is up for grabs right now. A 3-way tie. 11 under for Finau, Homa, and Burns. Finau is at the par 5 17th, so he's the deepest into his round. Second at 18 for Patrick Rogers. Rogers striking this one at a good tee shot. That one's going to run through the back portion, though. It'll sit right on that collar. It was only 131 coming in, but he's still scrambling. Now Wyndham Clark for eagle at 17. Definitely a gettable hole in 2 shots. And Clark's eagle try missing on the low side. So he was hopeful for a 2-shot gain. Instead, he will tap in for birdie, and that'll move him to 7 under.
We're at the 15th, and look at Burns' faces here.
He has nothing. Uphill lie, hanging lie.
Well, remember what Tiger was saying, you're going to be left to center, and that's right of center. That's still in the rough. Oh, that's serious trouble. Serious trouble. Oh, wow. Best he can do is 40 feet past. Kind of lost footing as well. It's tough to forget the whole week. You've had everything's gone well. Obviously, it's just gone a little sideways this last couple of holes, but you're right there. Anything can still happen the last 4 holes.
Finau at the 17th in the left rough. Meanwhile, Homa, the other leader, is at 16.
And Jim, we knew it was going to take at least a clean round from someone this afternoon. There's only 3 players on the golf course currently without a drop shot on the card. Jim Furyk, Victor Hovland, who's chasing up the leaderboard, and Max.
We just saw this putt, didn't we, Frank, from Tony? strong right to lefter.
A little more. It's nearly a home game for Max. In the FedEx final, see born just down the road. Why wouldn't you be a huge fan of the Lakers and the Dodgers? Got a phone call 2 years ago. Might get another one today. It's got to go left.
Yeah, we could see it straight away. Unfortunately, just not high enough all the way.
Still, Finau in the left rough at 17. Burns in trouble at 15. Perhaps a second win. It's home state of California. He knows it too. So close to 15.
Third shot. Wow, he played it right as close as you could.
Yeah, he went for it. Try and land it in the rough to hop it out.
And missed by just a touch. I mean, inches.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible miss, though.
No.
It's under the hole, and easier to hole that than something that would have been distant on the other side.
Well, it would have been 40 feet past.
Sure.
I think if it landed on the downslope. He was one bounce out. If it bounced, it just landed 1 yard further. So it was only one bounce in the rough and hopped out. He might have pulled it off.
17.
How's the lie there, Trevor?
Lie is good, but does not want to miss right of this whole location. So he's going to have to hook it around that big eucalyptus tree.
We've had 2 eagles today, 5 for the week. Carried the bunker.
That's a good leave.
Very well said. We've had
a great leave.
Richie Wierenski chipped in for eagle here. And Matt Neesmith a 50-footer as we go to 18.
Victor Hovland's had a nice day. For birdie, that would have been for 66, which John Rahm has already posted. He will join Rahm at 277, 7 under par.
This man drove the tour last year, didn't he, Jim? So if he starts in the next hour, he should make it to concession for Thursday.
Back to 17.
Needs a 3-3 finish.
That's a 5-wood on the way. Very high. On a pretty good line.
Oh, what a great shot from Cameron Smith. Well, I said it, Trevor. He hit that great one at Chambers Bay on the final hole, similar to that, to make eagle in that US Open that Jordan Spieth won. That's a good chance for a 3. Back to Burns at 15.
So, I think it's worth noting that he's played this stretch of the golf course, 15 through 18 this week, without a bogey. 4 under par in that stretch.
And this is the second time he's played this hole today.
That's right.
He had to come out and play 14 in the restart at 6:50 this morning. Opened with a bogey at 14 and then parred 15 in.
So looking at a 2-degree slope, which is about 18 inches from this distance. Didn't come out great. Oh, that cost him that's tiny 4 inches. Wow.
Drops out of the lead for the first time since Thursday afternoon, when he actually chased the lead and then took it by a bunch. It was a late starter Thursday, and now it's Homa and Finau tied at the top. 17.
Max is sneaky long. He needs a good one up here.
He intentionally went for a low one in there to get the run. He's done a great job. Look, he's got it way past the bunker.
Yeah, spectacular drive. They have similar number to the one Cam Smith had. Means so much, the local guys, to win a local tournament.
Next week on tour, Ian, the WGC Workday Championship at the Concession. And NBC will have the coverage and take the tour all the way up to the Masters. We send our best wishes to them. You know, they'll be providing us with superb coverage. Puerto Rico Open will be also on the schedule. Now back to Finau at 17.
Could today be the day? He's had 30+ top 10s since his last win. Would dearly love to get that second one and stop people talking about it.
Well, he's got his work cut out for him here. He's got to ride a little ridge, lie just nestled down a little bit, some kind of bump and run.
I'd like that spot. Should better get it up to 6 feet.
Yeah, he's done it.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect leave.
And he'll be putting uphill from there.
To put that number in context, there's only been 6 players that have done that in the last 5 years. Justin Thomas, Dustin Johnson, John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Webb Simpson. So he's in elite company.
Jordan Spieth taking a look here at 18. Spieth to see if he can lasso one last opportunity from 153 yards. The big hop, and it's inside of 20 feet.
Let's go back to the 16th.
And world number 1, Dustin Johnson. On a golf course that has been absolutely built from really, it's only a couple of holes that are dogleg lefts. So his patented fade fits in very nicely around here.
Unfortunately, what he's patented for much of the day has been just a pull. Came off a really hard-working par at 15 where he missed left again off the tee. See if he can keep his arms hanging underneath him without a lot of stress, a lot of tension.
He's got to carry those front bunkers. It's not the visual Sam Burns wants to see.
Well, maybe you can just shake off leading, and now he's chasing, so now you throw in the big load of determination to get it back.
Yeah, and I think the mentality is that you don't even think about one hole at a time at this point. Think about just making one good swing at a time. Just tick them off one at a time. Give yourself chances.
Nick, you talked earlier about staying in the present, also hitting the reset button.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a reset button right now. You've got to learn to forget what's just happened the last couple of holes. This is a huge opportunity. Do the right thing. Get it inside 10 feet. And
Dottie, if he can give himself 3 looks over the next 3 holes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Break it down to the simple stuff, the stuff you can control.
And suddenly, the body was faster than the arms.
Bunkered in more ways than one. They'll head to 16 green. We go to 17.
Yeah, and this for eagle, and to get within 1.
Brought his caddy Sam Pinfold in to take a look at the line. This would be a great time to make a putt.
Good team there. Good buddies. Wonderful stroke. Oh,
wow.
My goodness. That's
Apart from the cashmere insert.
That's not like him, is it, to leave it short?
Wow. What on earth happened there?
Left the head cover on it.
Yeah, that's a 3% slope down the hill there. It probably got a bit afraid by it. That's his deal too. I mentioned earlier he's won the Australian PGA a couple of times, and his up and downs under pressure were legendary, I have to say. He's shaking his head there. I think he was just a bit afraid of that. And today they didn't cut the greens because they were thinking of the high winds again. Perhaps that has something to do with it. Now, Tony Finau, Trevor, this is where he would want to leave it, up the slope.
100% coming back up that slope, as you said. Just a touch of break from right to left, but he doesn't have to leave the hole.
His putting has been exceptional. And
Right
that's
in the
another
middle.
one. 23 from 23 inside 10 feet since the 9th hole yesterday. That is unbelievable stuff. 12 under par. 20 top 5s, no wins. That's the graphic everyone keeps showing. I mentioned the 30+ top 10s. And we'd all dearly love to see Tony Finau win. Great family man. exceptional player. One of the guys that everyone wants to play with at the Ryder Cup or the President's Cup. What's this one going to do, Trevor? Should be a fraction right left, perhaps?
Yeah, same as Tony's. Doesn't need to leave the hole. Unless he really wants to dive in there, then he can sort of just on top.
All right. Well, not his best first putt, but a good second. 9 under. Outright fourth. But with Tony Finau headed up the last, that big long driver of his is going to be an asset going up the hill.
Most definitely, and we just got to make sure it's straight on the fairway. Gum trees right, got the famous hill left, the ball will stick, so needs it on the fairway.
Back to 16.
Just checking that greenside bunker, Dottie. Nobody's holed it. I know that's expecting a borderline miracle, but no one has holed it from that bunker today.
Sam did see Matt Fitzpatrick hit a very high quality bunker shot from just behind him, ever so slightly on the upslope. Good lie.
Oh, look at this. Oh,
nearly called it, Frank.
I mean, he hit a gem at 10 yesterday. That is not the best part of his game. And that one, hard to imagine any better than that.
Well, I like his bunker action.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was outside. He was like 188th in sandstones.
It's all about heavy arms in bunker play, isn't it? You just pick the club up and use the weight of your arms to thump the sand. Don't really use your body much. Just obviously clear, get out of the way.
Oh boy, that out of bounds at 12 is what took him out of contention. Matt Jones up there, maybe he can chip in for a 3. Max Homa to go. Perfect drive.
Well, this is huge to match Tony Finau, isn't it now?
Voice of Joe Grinder there, his caddy. First met Max back when he was 6 years of age at Vista Valencia Golf Club. He's like his big brother, Max said. Just a little too far right, is it? Well, if he has a good lie, he can get some spin there into the upslope, but it's not an easy one.
Might be able to use a tiny bit of backstop, isn't it? Just a little.
Just a little.
Goes past, might come back.
With some spin. Up at 18T.
The leader by 1.
Because a bit of adrenaline. This will go a mile, you watch. Ooh. He's got that low scooter as well. That is absolutely perfect. Famous hole location back left as always.
Sensational start to the 72nd. Tony Finau, what a round. 7 under. He birdies the 71st hole to take the lead alone. Could a win be on the way for one of the game's most popular players?
Taylor Gooch is at 17. Second shot. 264 yards remaining between his tee shot, which was a nice drive of 320 yards, and the flag, that went into that bunker. So he, depending on where that came to rest, might have that lip of the bunker to deal with. 18 down for Jordan Spieth. Spieth doesn't have enough. It was right in the center slot and just lacking one more rotation. Well, it speaks to what he's been going through, trying to get everything lined up, line and speed, and just a nod of the head as he settles for par, and he'll come in with that level score of 71. He was trying to get to a 1 under 70, and just outside the top 10 is where it looks like he'll end up.
Well, after the great bunker shot by Sam Burns.
So 3.5 feet at the left edge with some go.
Something good happened there. Great up and down. He has more than enough power to reach 17. Had some phenomenal shots from above. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Discover the possibilities. Goodyear. Thank them for that. Golf courses looked spectacular. 17.
Taylor Gooch from that same bunker that we found Max Homa. Just a little short of that, so that's good for Max to see how well that stopped.
Just wonder, did he have a slightly better angle, a little bit more uphill, a little more room?
Up at 18.
And Jordan Spieth has this for a 1 under par round of 70. Oh. Well, he dropped shots late yesterday, and those high winds started to get away from him at that time. Today, 71. It's tied for 14th. Back to this crucial shot coming up at 17.
Well, he eagled this hole on Friday, and he's also had a shot out of there earlier this week at that bunker. As we go back to the tee, Sam Burns.
I think it's a crucial shot here too. Got to find the fairway to have any chance.
Well,
that was a confident swing there, Ian.
Was it ever, Dottie? Top Tracer showing us that he's just nailed that 294 carry up the hill and scrambling over the top. So far past that bunker now, Nick. Crazy. Big shot here now for Max Homa. Pretty well played. He hit a great shot, remember, yesterday on the 10th hole. And he'll be pretty happy with that, I would think, to get that to 6 or 7 feet for the birdie. Seen a couple of eagles here already today. But it's a tricky pin. There's a lot of pins just cut on the edges. This one's only 3 paces from the edge. I'll leave them quickly up to 18 fairway.
Yep, that one we hit in heat downwind, and the that second round we did it thing through 43, which is the cover. Heavy, straight at it.
Top Tracer technology powered by Top Golf. And that's a good shot.
Only had 2 birdies, Jim, and they're from super close, like inside 8 feet.
17 now.
Where we see Max with a birdie putt. This place means so much to him. He's been coming here for so many years as a young fella. Came to see Tiger in a playoff with Billy Mayfair back in '98. Said one of the most memorable moments of his life was he couldn't get to see Tiger after the round for an autograph, but he got to meet Payne Stewart. And Payne spent 15 minutes with the kid, had a great discussion with him. And just as a 7-year-old, he said one of his favorite memories as a kid in golf. Up at 18.
First Finau, fast player.
With the lead, no issue, no need to go left to this whole location. Oh my goodness, Nick.
Is that come up short?
Yeah,
it's short left.
He hit that fat. He heard the sound, the clunk. He's going to sit on the famous hill with a wedge in your hand. That was the last, almost impossible place to hit it.
Boy, he went with the aggressive shot too, trying to find that back left pocket.
Well, as we've been talking so much, anyway, this is it. This is a huge putt of the day.
Slightly downhill as well. Has to be cautious. Oh, what a great putt for Max. He too now heads to the last at 12 under par. Could his dreams come true here at the Genesis? What a round. 5 birdies, no bogeys. You mentioned it, Frank. Yeah, that was big. now strolling up to the green at 18.
I've been texting here in the last half hour with his coach, Boyd Summerhays, who's been with him for 8 years. They first worked together when Tony was on the Korn Ferry Tour, and this is their 7th year on the PGA Tour. And he tells me that Tony feels he's playing the best golf of his life this last month, the most confident he has been in his career. This is one of his favorite courses, and the focus and work this week was focused all on short game and on getting that 1 or 2 extra up and downs or putts to drop on Sunday.
Well,
now he's got the one of the biggest up and downs of his career coming up. Needed.
Definitely. And you're forced to carry it across the corner and out of the Kikuyu. If you mishit it, it will just come up short. So how would he play this one, Trevor? You're a Kikuyu man.
Well, he has to fly it all the way to the green. The problem is when he lands it there, it's going to be landing on a little downslope. And this green, always one of the firmer greens at Riviera. Anything inside of 5 feet would be really good.
Yeah, if you can keep it right of the flag, obviously it's good time to pop it in, maybe. It's pretty darn good from there, to be honest.
It's excellent. Yep. And again, that's been the focus. He's got a great chance to get out of here with a 4. That was not as easy as he made it look, Nick.
No, he played up beautifully. That was a lovely little chop stroke, wasn't it? You just got to pop it, have enough club head speed without hitting it too hard. You just trap the ball, pop it onto the edge of the green. That's all he was looking for, and he did it.
Back to 17.
A little late now, but he could do with a 3.
It's 255 total. Sam Burns blew it by him by about 8 yards.
Wow, yeah, that was an awesome drive up there. Sam needs an eagle. It will jump him up to 12 as he heads up the last. In fact, the last eagle that Sam Burns made in a final round on tour came here last year on the first hole. So maybe that's a little omen.
Right edge of the tower. Yeah. Anywhere really on the tower is fine. Yeah. It's just stop. Okay.
He also opened this tournament with an eagle at the first hole he played on Thursday. This is a 4-iron in his hand. 243 to the top, 247 to the hole.
Just get those arms down so he doesn't block it.
That is certainly not blocked. It's on a very good line to start.
Fantastic. Will it get? Oh, that was a.
Kikuyu got him.
When you said 4-iron, I'm thinking, wow, that's a big dig, isn't it?
Sure was. As we head to the tee at 18.
Co-leader.
Oh, that little runner. That's with the kick.
And that one goes forever.
Wow, he's hit 18th fairway all 3 rounds, turned to no problem.
Up on the green at 18, Smith for birdie. Pulling to a tie for 3rd if he holds it. We got off to a fast start today. Picked up 4 shots early. And I need this one for a 467.
Tony's going to have to wait, isn't he? Who's he next? No, he has to wait and think about it a little bit longer.
Patrick Cantley in this group, 1 over for the day.
You can see Tony's mark nearby there, so he's got to make the decision if he wants to watch this or not.
Good point. So it's going to put this new putting stroke to the test, Trevor. You know, the ball is a little below his feet. He stands a long way away from it, and then that toe sitting up a little higher. He needs the perfect little pop stroke. He did it on 17. So 100% commitment needed here.
Yeah, stroke has looked beautiful all day, about the best I've seen it. And like you say, full-on commitment, because he has to start this at least inside the left, maybe on the edge.
3 feet 2 inches. There you go. Center cut. 64.
Didn't see that today. I thought they set it up tough, and I guess these guys are good. Played beautifully today. They managed to home in on all those hole locations. They've done a great job.
Tony was very close to his grandfather, Sione, who moved to the Los Angeles area, Inglewood, lived here for 40 years. He called his grandfather Champ. He got to see his grandson make it on tour. Saw him play once. That was here in 2015. His grandfather was so nervous every time Tony was over a putt he could barely watch. But he told his grandson that, you know what, you're best. When you play your best, you're better than the rest. It's a great story by Garrett Johnston that was just catching up on this from 6 years ago. And that great relationship. As you see, Burns, 17.
Yeah, that was a really good putt from just short of the green, Dottie. Left himself a close one for the birdie.
Yeah, beautiful. Gave it a chance. Yeah, I think he was really honest when asked about his not being able to finish earlier in the week. And he said, you know what? It's not mental. I just haven't played good golf. Just not getting too sideways about it, but he knows he just hasn't played the kind of golf he's capable of playing.
Well, he certainly maintained his composure and stayed in the moment and patient.
Fantastic.
As has Max, as he heads up the home hole, up the hill.
Yeah, Max is a very quiet guy, isn't he, on the golf course? Yeah, they're commenting about the wind. You heard that they hit 2 irons. Some guys are hitting 2 irons up 9 and 4 iron into 18. So now they're down to 140 plus yards.
Well, you make 3 and you win the tournament, but they're not giving away 3s today at 18.
No, they're not. We've had 2 players inside 8 feet. How about that?
And if there is a playoff, you know, with there being no fans, you have fans, you play the playoff beginning at 18, so the fans are in place for it. But these days, if there's a playoff, you go to 10, which is a fascinating hole to watch with a tournament on the line. If we get to that point,
that could be a one swing wonder, that one, couldn't that? Either one great one or one swing cost you. So amazingly, the 2 birds have actually been made from left of the flag at 18.
Taylor Gooch at 1 over for the day, 4 under.
Yeah, watch this guy over the next month or so. Strong player.
Yes, good line.
Great line.
Really good shot. Max Homa would love to get a little bit of that action.
138. Flying is what, 30? Yes, sir. Downwind? Yes, sir. 452s. Yeah, no.
We've got 8 miles an hour from our tower, which is just on top of the hill to the left there. As we pan out, that's us, those green boxes with the white roof.
Of course, this is usually one of the great scenes in all of golf. Right behind that green, thousands gathered up on the hillside. Here is Jones.
Super shot.
Well, Homa's got to have some positive vibes off those 2 shots.
He's got a good track record. He's actually birdied the last hole 20% of the time. Wow. This year. Here we go. So on tour this year, last hole. So there's a good chance. Better than. I'd give him better than 20% chance. In his career, I'm hearing. All right, let's see it. Want to make it easy, hit it to 3 feet.
Oh, what a call!
Wow, how
3
about
feet
that?
it is. Unbelievable.
Wow. That's the way to do it. I mean, it's perfect weather, perfect conditions. Hit it, aim at it, and just golf ball doesn't move with wedges as much these days.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking.
Probably heard me screaming. Let's check that one out again. Why not? I mean, seriously, with a wedge in your hand, aim at it. Your own margin of error is a yard. There you go. Wow, Jim Nance, that for Max for a win, Homa by the sea.
Back at 17.
Birdie for Burns. Really good 2-putt there. So he moves to 11, needs a birdie up the last, but I think he's still going to be 1 shy even if he does, Toddy.
Certainly looking like that, Ian. That was a heck of a shot by Homa.
Absolutely incredible to hit it that high and that far and that close under this pressure. Incredible, Jim.
Yep, I think Sam's going to need to hold a shot at 18. I mean, you said the closest all day had been 8 feet.
Yeah. Let's check it from the blimp. How cool is this? Right across the corner, struck it perfectly. Right at it. What a shame we didn't have 10,000 people on the hill. They would have gone nuts at that one. They've been rolling down the hill. I remember that year.
Probably be at least 1,000 there. That would be friends and family of Max Homa.
Yeah. Well, he's got to just not get carried away. He's still got that to win, obviously. Hydrate.
Next thing he might be drinking is champagne. And Tony was an eyewitness to it. Jones with the quick draw and the birdie.
That's nice for Max just to see it tracking the last 3 feet.
How about this group?
Yeah. Well, the weather is perfect. They've hit it up the hill, Jim. It's hitting wedges into 18. It's 470 yards uphill.
Aside from the fact that you got the weight of the tournament on your shoulders, that putt coming up from Homa, is there a whole lot there, Nick? As we see Gooch about to attempt one for birdie?
No, he just saw, obviously, he just saw that putt run up there. Slightly different line, but yes, it's still inside right, but that's all he's going to be looking for.
Oh my goodness. They did lead the way from out in the fairway, didn't they? I mean, with those 2 shots. It's a little preamble to the Homa shot of the tournament, perhaps. Birdie, and now the third one. They would all but lock up the tournament. Of course, Burns still would technically have a chance. If he makes it, Burns would have to hole out.
Yeah, 3'4", 40 inches. Right in the middle, he said. No, I'd give it right half if it was me.
he did go middle, and it did move.
I could see break.
Yeah, I could too. I mean, I'm right above the green here. That's always been a putt that's going to move a little bit. Fractions left.
Wow, way.
Amazing.
Kidding me.
3 feet 4 inches away from.
They read it. They read it straight, and well, we. Oh wow! Unfortunately, we know it's not straight, but he had it lined up. I mean, he hit it. If he crushed it, if it hit it harder, but hit it right speed. Ball was rolling nicely, but just needed right half. Flat out, split the difference between the center and right edge. He still would have been covered. You've got to believe it's going to go left.
And now Burns can,
wow,
with a 3, can make it a 3-man playoff.
No way he would know that, though. Got to make 2 good swings.
He needs the kick. He needs the kick. Do not stick up on the hill.
And it did.
That's brutal now with the back left hole location.
Up the hill to sign the card, shake off the shocking events of a moment ago.
Tony Finau certainly saw the events unfold at 18. He thought at one point he was out of it, and now he's back in it. As the miss from Homa certainly probably sent a bit of shockwaves through the rest of the players looking on. It looked like a matter-of-fact putt, and it did not go his way. And so now Homa will have to go sign for his card and wait and see what Sam Burns can ultimately do. And Tony Finau is right now back in the thick of things. A chance to win his second tour title. He needs to make putts like that. And that was similar to the miss that we just saw. The putt for Max Homa was 4 feet 1 inch from the cup. And it just lipped around the left side of the cup, and he had to tap it in for par. So both players have to be thinking about what is next. And Homa will just try and gather his thoughts. Burns, meanwhile, will size up this shot coming into 18 green. He has 194 yards to that back flag. And as Nick said earlier, not the easiest of angles with a back left hole location, as he'll have to come in from that left side. A tie at the top, Finau and Homa. We thought that there might be a birdie putt at 18 for Homa to break that tie, but a par it was. And so now Max Homa will go in to sign for the 66. Finau's already signed for his 64, as he had a sensational Sunday, going 7 under on his card. And so now it is a tie, and we will see between the two extra holes unless Burns can hold it out.
We're back with the first to hit the approach. Burns, who is still in the tournament, but is going to be just an incredible effort to make a 3 from this spot.
It was a great angle from up above we just saw there, Dottie.
The angle's not angle's not great.
No.
But the lie is very good.
Okay. But you can't risk trying to perfectly land it. There we go. There's the view. So
167 to the front, Nick, and 191 to the hole.
Jeepers, what does that mean? Land it at least 80, coming out a little hot.
Yeah.
So you've got to go. Yeah, you've got to see that one fan in the back middle. Basically 15, 20 feet right of the hole. Give yourself a chance.
Oh, our camera tower is the perfect line.
Or hit an absolute career high draw.
I'm hearing this is an 8-iron.
Yeah, I didn't hook.
No, it's hanging limply out to the right.
Oh dear, hops through the green.
Okay, now that's trap it, get a little chip and run, and jam it in there, Jim.
There will be a playoff. We know that. Will it be 2 or 3? Burns will have to hole that to make it a 3-man. And Chase 10, if necessary, 14, then 18, if necessary, here at Riviera.
Who will be able to haul in the win, hoist the trophy, collect the FedEx Cup points, and have that exempt status through 2024? We will find out soon enough. It's going to be down to Max Homa, Tony Finau, and perhaps Sam Burns. We'll see whether or not he can join the sudden death playoff. But we know that those two are getting ready, and we'll send them back to 18, that demanding finishing par 4, and we'll see what they can come up with execution-wise. Burns slightly disappointed with that second shot coming in. It just spilled through the back of the green. But he does have a chance at the very least to see if he can chip it on. The other two, the stakes have become very high. And credit to Tony Finau for coming up the leaderboard. Credit to Max Homa for playing 4 very good days of golf. And they both now have a chance to see if they can pick up the win. All those invitations will be coming their way, whichever of the two is to win, and perhaps Sam Burns can be in this conversation as well, but they can look forward to invites when we begin a new year, 2021 and 22, with our wraparound schedule. They'll be headed to Hawaii, to La Quinta, right back here at Riviera. So a two-way tie at the top. Let's see what Sam Burns has coming up. Final round and the final hole in regulation. Right now, Sam Burns, Matthew Fitzpatrick, and Dustin Johnson, they are all at the 18th. Bit of a disappointment for DJ. He's a player who has performed very well here in years past. He's hoisted the trophy, but he went out in 1 under par, and then he has played the back 9 in 2 over. So he just hasn't been able to get hardly anything out of his day as he was hoping. The 2017 winner here, with also a couple of seconds and a third, in all 9 top 10s for DJ, but today, not his day.
The final group is on the 18th. We have 2 in a playoff for certain. Tony Finau and Max Homa. As Tony work on his short game a little bit. He's birdied the 10th hole 3 times this week. Homa's birdied it the last 2 days. Dustin Johnson.
This is something, Jim, we've seen him do a lot today. Chip. He has not hit many greens, hasn't hit many fairways either.
Well, he ran it through the fringe, which is sometimes dicey here, but a wonderful result.
Yeah, it's a lot drier this week, isn't it? So you can do that. Max will tweet a few, tell a story before he gets to the 10th tee.
And how about the note that Ian gave us earlier that Dustin hadn't shot over par in a final round since this event last year when that's 72, and he's going to have that little putt for the same score this year on Sunday. That's what needs to be done. That's the ball belonging to Sam Burns, who's surveying.
I would call it, gentlemen, a scruffy lie. Seems to me that there's a little bit of the grass beyond the golf ball growing toward it, so it's going to be harder to get the club through there in a consistent manner.
But you know, we have history with moments like this.
Yeah.
Keegan Bradley and Phil Mickelson. That playoff with Bill Haas, there was drama from this side of the green. Come on now, run it out.
Another learning Sunday for Sam Burns.
He's going to shoot 2 under if he makes that. But it's going to be 1 shot too many.
Matt Fitzpatrick finishing up, had a rotten day basically, missed everything like so.
Still a valuable day for him, considering where he was in the FedEx Cup points list. And I think he fought his way through the back 9 pretty well.
Yeah, he wants to play. He's a world traveling international player. Wants to play more in America. Tony going to head across the second fairway, head across to the range, and yeah, I think you need to hit a few because it's going to be one great shot to try and get on that front corner of the 10th green.
38 coming in.
Well, he's close, isn't he? My goodness, it's just the odd pull, the odd push. A huge amount of experience gained there.
Yeah, he's a big time talent.
Yeah,
he's going to have a lot of Sundays where he's walking away holding the hardware. Shot 38 in the third round on the back nine, which of course that took place over Saturday and then Sunday morning. So 38-38 the last two rounds coming in for Burns. Fitzpatrick was in there close for birdie at 18, all pars on the second side.
I just thinking with Matt Fitzpatrick putting with the flag in all the time, if Max Homa had putted with the flag in from 40 inches, would it have missed? God, we never know. We'll never know.
200 par round for Burns. Dustin shoots 72, 1 over. Tony Finau and Max Homa, a couple of swings, and then one of the great holes to go see a playoff. The 10th at Riviera is ready for the stage when we come back on CBS.
Well, in case you missed it in this final round, players getting to the top of our leaderboard, Max Homa, tee at 6. Beautiful par 3 signature hole with the bunker carved out of the center of the putting surface, and he was nowhere near that. He was all over the pen. Homa with a birdie there. You would have birdies at 1, 6, and now set up here at 7. Big hop. This one just spinning to a stop and hold high. From there, he would make the putt. Now at the 10th, after making the turn in 3 under par. That one past the pin, and on the par 4, he would have the short putt for birdie. He would make that. And on to 17. This is the last of the par 5s, and you heard just that sole of the club hitting the sand beautifully. And a nice controlled shot, which sets up the birdie. Homa with 5 on his card, as he ultimately sits at 12 under. The untimely miss at 18. That would have settled the score with 1 stroke, but instead he settles for par, and extra holes now between Homa and Tony Finau, as both players are going to be heading back to 18. It's been a beautiful day here in Southern California, Pacific Palisades, and sudden death now with Finau and Homa tied at 12 under, and they are going to settle things with the win and a very prestigious title on the line. Finau looking for his second win on the PGA Tour, and for Max Homa, how important would it be? He grew up in Southern California. He has played in this event 4 times, missing the cut twice. He was T5 here a season ago. And so he knows how important it is to see if he can bear down and finish the deal this go around.
So there it is with the tees up today and the hole location on the front portion of the green. Under 300 yards. Okay, there you see it. Tony's win in Puerto Rico was in a playoff. He lost to Webb in another one, Xander in another one. Max for the first time in a playoff, and it's coming up here in just a moment. 10th tee there on the lower left, second green abutting that area, and here we go. Frank Nobilo, as he has all week, calls the action at the 10th, and it's going to be fun to watch here, Frank.
It is, Jim, and you referenced.
At this time, I'd like to recognize our title sponsor, Genesis, for their commitment to this wonderful tournament. Gentlemen, we're going to play 10, 14, and 18 in rotation until we have a winner. Tony, you're first in the house. We're going to draw numbers for the order. Go ahead. First. Okay. Good luck, guys. Thanks.
So Finau will have the honor, and Jim, you referenced both gone 3-3 the last 2 days here at 10. And Dottie, He's kept the ball left of this green, which has been key.
Yeah, the right bunker shot or short of that bunker is just deadly. What breeze, Frank, there is from the right. Tony likes to hit a cut that moves to that direction. So likely straighten this ball out just a little bit.
8 birdies in his round of 64 today.
So waiting for a cart to clear.
It's a beautiful shape.
In there. Shot.
Oh, beautifully positioned as well. Couldn't draw it up any better.
Yeah, if you're going to miss the green, that is a great angle. If Max could narrow that, split the difference, would be a fantastic shot, wouldn't it?
And Trevor, he's got to shake off that short miss at 18.
Yeah, spent a little time just trying to clear his mind on the range, hit a few 3-woods. Should be nice and loose and ready to go.
Swing.
Does it get the bounce?
Thank you.
Oh, right up against the tree by the looks of things.
Absolutely snookered. Oh my goodness. Holy smokes.
Can you get a club on it?
I don't think you do anything, Frank. You can chip it this way and start again. Oh.
So, sudden death playoff. Tony Finau, Max Homa, the Genesis Invitational.
Taking a look back at how Tony Finau made it to this sudden death playoff. He turned on the gas today in terms of ramping up his game, knowing that he needed to be aggressive. It's exactly what he was. Just putting together score after score. He would move from the front side with a nice flock of birdies. The birdie at the 10th, adding another at 11. So he was 6 under through his first 11 holes today, averaging a birdie every other hole. And then on to the 16th. This was after a bogey at 15. He bounces back just as that one was bouncing back towards the pin. He would make the putt that would send him back to 6 under on the round. And then he finishes up with birdie at 17 and par at 18. And so look at that card. 24 putts. 13 of 18 greens despite only hitting 6 of 14 fairways. So Finau, it looks like, is in that advantage position when you consider both players have hit their tee shots. Finau on a tight lie. Max Homa, the closer he gets to seeing where his ball is walking up from the tee, he's going to be more and more disappointed because it is up against the trunk of the tree, and it is hard to say whether he'll be able to even put a club behind it and advance the shot. He may have to take an unplayable, and we'll see how that ultimately plays out. But the drivable par 4, it always adds up to excitement.
Oh, Max Homa is walking down there, and he is not aware at this stage how bad a break that was. He's not going to believe it. Trevor, does he have anything?
Well, I think what he can try and do is hood a sand wedge and maybe try and hook it out towards the front of the green, or maybe just right of the green from this angle, and then go from there. But there's no way that he can put any kind of normal golf swing on this.
Well, can he? Well, he might have just, you're right, shut the face on your 60-degree. I mean, he's got to give it a bit of rotation, a bit of a flick, and maybe he's probably got one chance. So
And Nick, Tony has to be careful too, because like the old match play philosophy,
Oh,
you
yeah.
think you're in the driver's seat.
Don't worry, have played enough with Seve.
Exactly.
You could be on the edge of the green thinking, where is he? And I've got to make this for a half, have I? Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
So-
I think you always, it's an opponent kind of situation right now, and you always expect your opponent to pull off the hero shot. You got to have that mentality to stay in.
Well, yeah, he could, a great shot, just get it on the right-hand edge of the green. Let's go and check where it's going to land, Dottie, to make, to see how firm it is and everything. Well, Trevor, rather, what would you recommend, Trev?
Yeah, exactly how he's looking right now.
Okay, so at least he has got a shot. At least he's not.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get it over by the sprinkler head. Yeah. I'm going to try to pull it over there. Yeah.
He thinks if he pulls this off, he can pull it onto the edge of the green. What a cool shot.
Oh, that's a heck of a shot there. Tremendous from Homa.
Well, I'm delighted it wasn't dead, because that was a heck of a keeps it going.
Far from out of it. Throws the gauntlet back now to Finau.
I thought when I first saw that there was a chance we could have seen Gary Player at Lytham kind of bounce it into the wall, bounce it into the tree.
Great contact. You said he's going to try and hood the face.
Look at the club face there. There you go. What a great shot.
Those sprinklers a problem?
I don't believe so. Going low.
Oh, right through the middle of them.
That's the putt that Sam Burns, and that breaks like 2 feet left to right.
Making me nervous now.
Yeah, why not? It's playoff time.
We're not the only one interested. John Rahm having a little look. What a great shot too. Looked like he was stone dead there for a while. Turned the toe of the wedge. Came up with a gem. And of course, John Rahm obviously out there following Tony Finau. They play a lot together in Scottsdale. Nice to see.
So how about this for a stat going back to 18, Frank? Max has made 99.57 putts from 3 feet, and he misses the one at 18. It was 3'4", but talk about the pressure, the moment.
Might be able to redeem himself.
I've got a feeling he's going to do that.
Yeah, hopefully he's wiped that from his mind right now. What an opportunity to just heap the pressure on Tony. This is going to break from his right the whole way down there.
Hit a good part. He hit a good part. All he can do now is wait. And Dottie, Finau's last 2 starts, remember back at San Diego, tied second, went across to Saudi Arabia, tied second. His last 2 starts.
Well, I think we said last year when he lost in the playoff to Webb Simpson at Phoenix that it's time for this guy to stamp a win, take control of it, and here's his opportunity. Nick's right. This is a carbon copy of the putt that Sam Burns holed in regulation.
That was a Genesis follow you, follow me moment.
It was timid. What a reprieve now for Max Homa.
We've got the drawer versus the fader going to 14. Max hit a great shot at 14, didn't, just a little long. In fact, this is still gone. Oh my goodness, it's gone to 3 feet. Oh, I didn't say that.
Well, the one on 18 was breaking left. This one goes a little right. On they go. Now this time 10 shows its middle again. You would have thought one of them would have made 3.
I got a feeling if Max had holed, Tony would have holed.
Well, Max was the observer here. There's nothing he could do. Tony was putting. Now opportunity knocks. And they head to 14. Take it away.
Yes, I would not have thought it had come to 14 when I saw that tee shot, Frank. That was an unbelievable little chip shot there for Max Homa. And he almost made that putt. A little less speed and that was in. And this is just an incredible little shot. How he flicks it around with a shut club face and gets it to kick up there onto the green. Just an incredible shot. You know what I was really impressed with, Nick? How well he handled that. As he walked down there, he saw where it was.
Yeah.
He wasn't, oh, woe is me. He just went about his business.
Fortunately, it was just enough gap, because when we originally saw it, I thought it was done. So just enough gap to be able to produce that shot. So, hey, it keeps him alive. Unfortunately, it wasn't the magic moment for a victory, but we move on to the 14th, which is could be pretty daunting. So we might get a result here.
And we watch the caravan of carts head over to the claret-coloured Genesis GV80 on the back of the 14th tee. The draw is the shot of choice into this left hole location. That is for sure. There's all the balls today. I can tell you that we had 2 birdies today. We only had 3 yesterday. 16 bogeys in all. This hole was averaging 3 1/4. Just 189 yards.
So the secret is don't get too carried away and overdraw it, isn't it? Because if it just bails out right and goes long, more than likely, well, if crumbs, the odds on somebody making a 2 then is going to be pretty thin, isn't it?
Both players have parred this hole all 4 days, so 8 threes between them. And in the last 10 years here at the Genesis, this is the 4th playoff. And James Hahn beat Paul Casey and Dustin Johnson right here on the 14th hole in 2015, the most recent.
Yes, it is. Sure is. Okay. Sure is. Okay. Perfect, man.
The cover straight at it, Ian, is 181. Wind is a little hurting.
Mark,
7 iron.
7 iron for Tony Finau. His caddy Mark Urbanek was on the bag with James Hahn when he won here 6 years ago in that playoff. Finds the sand. If it has a decent lie, you can see there it's popped out of its pitch. Little upslope on the green there from that angle. A lot of pressure.
You gonna do anything to it? Like a 1-yard drop. Yep, right on the right side of the wings. Yep, it's just a driving range.
Voice of Joe Griner there saying just a driving range one. Go do it.
7 iron, doesn't need to be looking anywhere near the flag, out to that ridge 30 feet right of the hole.
looks good too, Trevor. That's started out at the FedEx sign on the back. If it's the right club, it is spectacular. Really nicely done there. Just a little uphill right to left putt. We can be aggressive with it, and it's all up to Tony now. Needs to hit a good bunker shot.
I wasn't expecting to see Max left of the flag. That was pretty bold, wasn't it?
It was a very good shot.
Caught me a little by surprise as well.
It's been a tough hole, this one, all week. The green is so firm. You have to shape your shot in there. Tony just a little bit too much. Both perfect length. Max Homa hit an unbelievable second shot into 18. High, perfect, straight at the flag, under immense pressure. But he had this one, Nick.
Yeah, and we know from the past it does break. They selected dead straight. Didn't give themselves any margin of error.
And then the putt in the playoff, the first hole, had it been a little bit further to the left, it finds the right edge and goes in. So it's too good.
Yeah, that's the putt he hit on the playoff was excellent. I mean, just a hair softer, and
yep,
we wouldn't be walking down here. We might be with 2 threes. Anyway, I said don't overhook it. That's the only miss, isn't it, at 14? So Tony doesn't have a lot of room to work with there.
One fortunate point, and I'm sure Dottie knows this, he's 12th on tour in sand saves, so he's pretty good out of the bunkers, Dottie.
Well, he's going to need to be for this one. He's got 4 paces to work with to reference what Nick was talking about. Very bottom of the bunker, so super flat. This is one that needs some speed. It needs a good sound, a good thump.
Well, if you're looking for someone with speed, Tony would be in the top 5, right?
That's right.
That's probably why he's such a good bunker player.
Oh, please.
Good
oh, please,
hands,
guys. Thank you.
strong.
Yes. Long arms, strong pair of hands, good pair of wrists. He's going to give it that wristy smack.
Get in there and crowd that ball. Didn't need much more to be really good, but he has left himself an uphill putt.
Yeah, I can't believe he left it short.
Yeah.
It stopped in a yard.
Stopped very quickly. That's the speed. That's how these guys get so much spin on the ball out of the bunkers. Very little sand and a lot of speed. So you'll get to see the line too, Trevor, of Max Homa's putt, just behind him.
Yeah, Max doing a little gardening right now, making sure that that line is free of any blemishes. It's going to be a putt from a line standpoint very similar to the one he just hit on the 10th. This one is going to be a little uphill, but still breaking from his right. And after the short miss at 18 in regulation, and then that one on the first playoff hole, it's time for him to take this chance and put an end to this.
Well, the great thing about Joe, his caddy and big brother, is he's very, very positive. He's a good man to have on his back. You saw him as he walked off 18 green, put his hand on his shoulder and say, "That's all right, mate. Let's go and get this done in the playoff. Don't let that trouble you."
Do you agree with that, Trevor? Right edge?
I thought it was a little more, but if he wants to go firm.
Yeah, I agree. A right edge firming. At least hit the back of the hole.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah,
this is hit it firm if it's right edge.
Aim and fire.
This for the win.
Interesting. He didn't use the line on that one.
And left it short.
Yeah, didn't use the line, so maybe he wasn't comfortable. He couldn't put the ball down in the correct spot, but there was definitely more break again, wasn't there? Unless he slammed it.
Yeah.
This has to be helpful for Tony.
Has to be, Dottie. He's just inside 10 feet. He watched it all the way, and he saw how much that broke. There was no way that was just right edge. That broke a good 6 inches, I thought, at that speed.
I think good too that it's all in shadow. You don't have to go through any sunlight.
Well, Max has said in the past it's his favorite course on tour. All players think the same. This one to tie and go to the next, the 18th. And he allowed a little more, having seen the putt from Max Homa. But it's Max Homa, his second win on the PGA Tour on his favorite course, Riviera. The 2021 Genesis Invitational champion is Max Homa. Congratulations, Max. Tony, unfortunately, another runner-up. And a big congratulations there from his mate and big brother, Joe Greiner. He's been with him, friends, since the age of 6. Absolutely spectacular play there. Disappointing for Tony to make bogey there on that second playoff hole. An exciting finish there, Amanda.
You years old on the shoulders of your dad. I was texting your wife Lacey about earlier. What does it mean to you now to come back and win here?
Didn't hit me till just now. Sorry. Been watching this tournament my whole life. Why I fell in love with golf. Wow, didn't think I'd be like this. Tiger, another reason I'm into golf. Had good feelings this week. Been playing great. City of Champions, Dodgers, Lakers, me now. So it's a weird feeling.
I know how important the city of Los Angeles is to you. I also know how important Tiger is to you. And you said earlier this week, you thought you were going to have your Tiger moment this Sunday. Is this it? And what does it feel like knowing Tiger Woods is going to be handing you this trophy now?
I might have to apologize to him. You're not supposed to miss a 3-footer in front of Tiger Woods, but I got it done. I'm very proud. I played. We talked about it, my coach Ty and Joe, playing like Tiger today, out of the green, a lot of strategy, trust yourself. I did that today. I didn't make a bogey all of this entire day, starting back to the restart, which was pretty darn good in my opinion. So yeah, I saw Tiger the other day. I was too scared to talk to him, but he's forced into talking to me today, so it's going to be a pretty awesome moment.
You don't have to be scared now as you are the champion, but what is it about your resume that you're building? You've now won at Quail Hollow. You've won at an iconic course here at Riviera against two of the strongest fields we see in their respective seasons. What is it about that challenge that brings the best out of you?
I don't know. I think I have a game that fits difficult golf courses, and I finally started to build a mind that fits difficult golf courses. So I come here where I know it really well. I feel very comfortable. I think it's the best golf course in the world, and you mix all those things together and you start to see some really good golf. But I'm hoping this is kind of just the beginning. I'm not sure what the next hardest golf course is, but I'll give it a try.
Max Homa, you are a winner in Los Angeles. Enjoy it. Dottie, over to you.
Amanda, thanks. Tony, hard to stand here and listen to all of that, knowing that you were chasing your second win on tour. You've come off such a good run of golf for so many months. What do you take from this?
Yeah, right now I'm disappointed. I didn't execute the shot I was trying to hit here on the last hole, and ended up biting me in the butt. But man, I shot 64 today, and on a day where I needed to just to get into the playoffs. So, I think as I look back on the week, in the next couple of days, there's going to be a lot to grow from, and today's round was pretty special for me. I was able to make some key putts in regulation, and just to keep myself in it. And I fall short, but I think a lot of positives.
Well, the positive is that you're 6th now in the FedEx Cup standings. What does the next month look like for you?
Yeah, I got next week. I got WGC coming up, and then the Players Championship. So the game's in a great place, going into some big events. It's bittersweet. Again, it's bittersweet right now. I probably haven't wrapped my head around, quite what just happened yet. But at the end of the day, I know how good of golf I'm playing, and I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
No, you are indeed. Thanks for your graciousness.
Thanks, Todd.
Certainly a classy interview from Tony Finau. Hard to accept that loss just moments after and respond to it, but he did make a great point with that 64. He had to charge up the leaderboard to put himself in position to battle for this win, and that, at the very least, he gave himself the chance. And now, as we watch the way he has played and start to look for that future indicator, this is a good one that he's very close to breaking through with that second win of his career. For Max Homa, he now has victory number 2, and it comes at a very special place. Riviera Country Club, Hogan's Alley they call it, for the legendary Ben Hogan and all of his accomplishments here, and now with Tiger Woods and his foundation benefiting from this tournament. He serves as the host. It's also going to be extra special for Max Homa to look back and remember the week. Sam Burns will also have some bittersweet memories, leading early but losing late. And for Homa, the chance to win it all on the 72nd hole. He was at least able to finish the deal on 2 holes of sudden death. You can log on to PGATour.com. Take a look at the winner's press conference exclusively at PGATour.com, along with looking back with highlights, interviews, and analysis, all from what was a great 4 days of competition at Riviera. Congratulations to Max Homa. This concludes the PGA Tour's final round coverage of the Genesis Invitational from Riviera Country Club in Pacific Palisades, California.